Warning. The following show features reviews from wildly unprofessional critics operating without the supervision of professionals. The thoughts and opinions held by these individuals are not to be taken seriously and do not come from a place of intellectual integrity. This show doesn't reflect the opinions of Criticless or its users. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? What is up, everyone? Hello and welcome to another episode of Criticless Cast Unhinged. We are back right here before the 4th of July, and I wanted to keep things American while, wearing a Marlboro hat, because what's more American than cigarettes, I guess. So, but today we are going to be talking about the wonderful cult classic Team America. Now, usually on these we do like critic hated or audience hated or one of those, but I was like, no. We got to go all in and review this one because a lot of you guys like it. It was one of those that's in popular demand. Not many people talk about it anymore. And it was referenced actually last year at this time by me as being one of the most American films of all time. And I personally think it's easily that. So we had to talk about it today. So that's what we're going to be reviewing. And as usual, I guess I didn't even introduce myself, but I am Blaine Andrews, the host of Criticless Cast. And if you are not aware of what Criticless is, then you need to go on the interwebs. Go to our website, criticless.com, or to the app stores, whether it be Android or Apple, and download the app. Get on there and review some movies and television shows. We're kind of like Rotten Tomatoes if it didn't absolutely, completely, and totally suck. But, I need to go ahead and introduce the usual Spud specs. The international man of mystery, the sexually ambiguous Christopher Cowles.
Greetings.
I just had to add that one since right before we went live. What was it you said? You're like,
oh, because I'm not straight.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not straight.
Yeah, because something was crooked.
Yeah, something was crooked. So maybe it's Chris. No one knows.
We'll never find out.
And then the Mr. Matt Verlack. He's the quiet man of mystery.
What's up, guys?
What's up? I thought I was literally going to say nothing at all.
Just leave it complete silence.
Yeah,
thumbs
up.
Give it the old J or Silent Bob.
Yeah, exactly. You would make a good Silent Bob. You should.
I think it'd be a lot of fun to be Silent Bob.
Right.
You just gotta be dramatic, but like with your eyebrows.
Right. It's like maybe we should do that for Halloween one year. Go as Jay and Silent Bob.
Dude, that would be great.
That would be pretty great.
Just grow your hair out, Blaine.
Right. I can find a wig because that's a little much.
Yeah.
I think Jason Mewes also wore a wig. Well, I think now he does.
His hair.
Now he does. It was his hair back in the day.
He's got it short now.
Right. So, but he does have it short. But yeah, this is probably my least prepared episode. I've been driving for the past 3 hours and then just gloriously showed up on Matt's doorstep
from out of nowhere. I had no idea it was coming.
Right. But yeah, so today's episode, it was kind of one of those things too, where we were tossing around. We're like, are we going to talk about the new Jurassic World movie? And then I was like,
well, it really didn't help that there wasn't like good movie times. It's weird.
Right.
So normally we try to like see a movie at least 4:30 or 5ish. And in all the theaters around here, they're showing it at like 3 or like 7. It was really strange. So it didn't work out in our scheduling. So we were like, we got to do something.
Right.
It's 4th of July tomorrow.
Right. And honestly, you guys seem to really like when we do these older movies anyways. It definitely, as far as just engagement with y'all and whatever, it's a lot easier for you guys to see these older films versus these new ones. So we're going to try and keep the newer films that we review very kind of special and particular. Oh, and do we have a twofer, Matt?
Twofer.
You want to read that?
Yeah,
Matt?
man. Doyle Status, thank you so much. Happy birthday, America, 250th.
Yeah, 250th. Is it really that?
Is it
50?
Well, 1776. We're at 25.
So is this really a 249?
Look, I was homeschooled, so my math is not.
Who knows? We can't be trusted. We don't do
we'll
math.
Go with
I don't think
250,
76 and 25 equal.
Listen, I'll say this: I trust Doyle over all three of us in our math or our
fair.
intelligence. So chances
Look.
are he's right. You know.
Ah,
Oh, wait, no,
Cape Titty.
Cape Titty
Yeah.
says 249 as well.
So close. Next year, come back. We can do this again.
But for $2, it can be $250. You know what I
Right.
mean? This is the $250
Right,
because he
right.
paid us for
Yeah.
$2.
Right.
So
Yeah.
happy $250.
Exactly. You super chat enough. We'll say it's whatever anniversary you want. us to
There's
say
a
it
lot
is.
of things I'll do for $2.
We
I
are
mean, yeah.
shills. 100%.
Absolutely. No, well, you know, after being on a lot of these Geeks and Gamers Associated streams, we are pretty tame. I saw super chats go absolutely bonkers literally yesterday on Beardo's stream
Oh, yeah?
for Bro Science, and it was literally the entire chat fighting over which of two women were the hottest. And
I mean, that sounds about right.
within about a minute and a half, there was a couple $100 thrown around to
Wow.
argue which woman was the hottest.
And
So
the
you know,
results are
was the one that I had chosen, of
Ah,
course.
do you know their
so I
names?
was right. No, I have no idea. It's chicks that
Oh, okay.
wrestle for like the WWE slash
Oh.
the AEW. I don't wrestling things.
A&W. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got good wrestlers.
Yeah, the K and W actually is what it's a bunch of grandmas. It was which of the sexiest old ladies.
heck
That's-
yeah.
They would fight over something like that.
They would.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, but it these chats get wild. People are definitely you guys are nuts. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna be talking about Team America World Police, but before we do that, we're gonna be doing the stuff that we normally do, which is talking about doing our culture for boomers. We're gonna be doing our talking about what's been streaming lately and some news. We actually just had a celebrity death that was announced today, actually just a little bit ago,
Oh,
that
yeah?
we're gonna touch on. There's not really a ton of news happening.
Mm.
There's just everyone crapping on Ironheart right now. So there's that.
Yeah.
But
Chris doesn't know what that is.
so
Well,
yeah.
That sounds like a marble. Is it a marble?
It is a
Marvel
Marvel
thing.
thing. Yeah,
Do it.
it is. Yeah, and you've kind of checked out of late.
Oh
so-
yeah. No, I am not a fan of superhero stuff right now. It's
Yeah.
just not in my realm of interests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. They've burnt us. Granted, I am very excited for Soups in like what, a week?
Next week.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah,
week?
that's next week.
Next week.
Superman next
I'm
week.
freaking excited. I mean, I hope it's good. I really so deep.
I do too. I've been trying to avoid all the trailers. I've seen still shots and stuff because it's hard to avoid that stuff. But I've seen like half a trailer
Right.
a long time ago.
Yeah, I've hit the point for sure where I'm trying to stay away from the press for that movie, just simply because it is there's a lot of chatter happening right now, and I don't want anything really spoiled for this new Superman movie. Granted, there was like there was a lot of like spoilery stuff, but we don't know what's true, what's not, what's
Right.
so I'm just kind of like, I don't.
That's the
wanna
problem
hear
with
it.
trailers. You never know. Like I'll go in and be like, I have the whole movie spoiled for me because that's happened so
Yeah.
many times.
For sure.
Right.
And now they were getting smarter about it, but still, it's just like I don't want to know.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk. Like
Right.
if you're already interested in the movie, just go see it. You know,
Right,
don't
right.
don't get tea.
And
Right.
it is hard once you've heard so many things and things that are true aren't true. It puts like expectations on it, and then you're
Mhm.
predicting and waiting for certain things to happen that might not. Where it's
Yeah.
like back when Multiverse of Madness came out. Now, granted, that was not a great film, but
Mm.
it's like we all had these super lofty expectations, and it didn't meet
Yeah.
any of them. And then also the movie was only okay, so it was like a double whammy for that movie. So it's kind of one of
Right.
those things where I'm trying to avoid that.
Yeah, but speaking of trailers, I did watch the Running Man trailer because I know you posted about it, and I was gonna watch it. And I was just waiting for Xena, and
Yeah.
then we were both sitting there. I was like, okay, let's watch it because that's my most anticipated movie.
Right. Same.
Like
Mm,
it's just
same.
the
Wow.
movie I'm looking forward to the most this
It's
year.
Edgar Wright. So
It's Edgar Wright, it's Glenn
Yeah.
Powell, like two of my
Yeah.
favorites in
Yeah.
this universe right now. Like doing something together. It was
Right.
our old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie,
Right.
Yeah.
and it was written by Stephen King originally. So I'm like, this could be really good.
Yeah.
And then I watched the trailer and I was like, this feels like it shows a lot, but it's just really quick flashes of stuff
right.
that I'm probably gonna forget since I'm not watching anything else about it and it comes
Right.
out in like November.
I think they're actually
Yeah.
still holding back more than it felt like was in it.
It could
like,
be, yeah.
I think that it still is fairly contained. I don't know. I am quite excited about the Running Man, but we've been having an internal debate within Criticless right now with some of the folks about like, because whether it's a remake or not, because the thing is the original movie that was the Arnold movie was based off of a Stephen King novel, and it was quite different than the
Mhm.
novel. And so it's kind of like, is this really a remake, or
Right.
is it like, how do we want to even classify this movie?
Personally, I deem it to be a remake
Right.
It's no different in my mind. It's like a remake light. Based on the trailer I saw, it has the similar premise, but not the same premise.
Right.
And this reminds me of one of the other Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that was remade.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I just blanked
Total
on
Recall?
Total Recall, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the remake was very different than the original.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, they're two different movies because they are not the same like story. They tell them in different ways and things like that. So it's a remake, but it's a remake light.
Right.
So
yeah, I think so. So we'll see. It's still, after seeing the trailer, probably even more so my most anticipated movie now. And I mean, we got a good bit of Michael Cera. I didn't know he was going to be in it.
Didn't know that either.
Pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We haven't seen him in a while.
I know he's just been doing like CeraVe commercials.
No, he did. He was in The Phoenician Scheme, which none of us saw, which is Wes Anderson's newest movie.
Right.
And I think that was like one of his main roles, like in one of his biggest films he's done in a while.
Sure.
Right. So yeah, but before we jump into our boomer chat, I did want to say hello to everyone in chat. Faith Thomas, what's up? Wasp, Crisco, Caveat Ties, Life of Marshmallows, D Designs. There's a lot in here. A lot of you guys in here. Eternal Glory was in here. Actually, he was one of the ones that we were talking about with this movie, and was a little worried just because everybody is worried as well. Where with like the remakes, so many of the remakes have been bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't blame anyone
But
for being worried about that.
Think about the Dredd remake.
Right.
Because Sylvester Stallone's Judge Dredd was an okay movie. I haven't seen it in forever, so I can't opine about how it is now in my mind. But Carl Urban's Dredd was like fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And that was a remake. So, I mean, it's always possible.
Right. No, totally. We got Chelsea in the chat too. What's going on? If there's anybody else I missed, I'm sorry. Outside of my wife, hello as well, dear. But yeah. Hey guys, what's going on? And I think it is that time for It's culture for boomers. Now the question is, can I get up the right screen? There we go. That's the right one. Hey. And we got to do the whole headphones thing, which we are not used to doing.
Headphone jiggle.
I know, it's so weird to do.
As Chris is still not headphoned up.
I'm not Russian.
You know, he's
I won't miss anything.
No. Granted, he's the biggest boomer that we are talking to right now. But if you're not
a boomer mentality, though, right? Like, I'm not gonna miss it.
Right.
Fine.
I don't have anything I need to learn.
You mean being laid back, chill, cool, ruining economies?
Yeah, that's it.
All the economies. Fine.
That's what I
go
do,
to
man.
retirement home.
I'm embracing it.
Yeah, definitely something a government employee would say.
True.
Which it's still no joke, and we've brought this up on the show before. Which is Chris, he's a Fed. Everyone knows, but it is extra funny that because recently something came up about you in my house, and still Clark is like, you talking about the one that works for the government? Like every time, it's not stopped.
He works for the man.
And then the conversation kept going, and I can't remember what happened, but he was fighting with us about you actually being a member of our family, and he's like, no, he's related to us. He's like, I promise he is, and I'm not happy that one of our family members works for the government.
Yep. Look, it's fine. We can have a little spat.
Yep.
He'll beat me up when he gets older for sure.
Right. Yeah. Well, if you might have one up on him, at least if he keeps being vertically challenged, he won't be too tall, so you'll at least have that on him.
Even playing field.
Right. So the question is, what do you boys know about that aura farming? You know what I'm talking about? Anybody else know?
I do know what you're talking about. I saw this actually already.
Yeah, you know about the aura farming? Chris,
you talking about like being on a gondola, like you're rowing that boat?
I mean, you do row boat.
Yeah, but there's the most important person on the boat we're about to see.
Right. And so this is all the rage right now. Everyone is aura farming, and if you don't know about it, then you're clearly a boomer, because you've obviously not been on the internet in like a whole week,
and you're missing out on how to farm aura.
Right, and everyone needs to know how to farm aura, and that last movement. There's a little spanking movement, and then there's some of these things, and there's some of these. I don't know. There's a lot of things
diddling happening.
So I need to be careful though, because playing this, I'm going to instantly have to mute it, because there is a specific sound that happens with aura farming, and the meme that I can't play because we'll probably get copyright struck immediately.
Oh, okay.
All right, there we go. All right, y'all seen this? Y'all seen this little dude?
I see it.
Yeah, look at him. Swag right there. This is aura farming. So basically what's going on here is there's this Indonesian boat racing, and these young kids stand on the front of the boat and they farm for aura, essentially.
Oh,
What,
hell yeah.
what they are doing, that's what everyone has dubbed it, but that is kind of what they're doing. So what's happening is apparently this has been going on for ages. And the kid on the front of the boat, what they are doing is channeling all of their ancestors' auras to bring success to everyone on the boat.
Sure.
Great success.
Yes, great success.
Yeah.
And
They must have watched like Mulan and been like, this is a great idea. Our ancestors are watching. Let's dance.
right, I think that this was before Mulan. Apparently, they've been doing this for quite some time.
Oh, really?
It's apparently like a really old tradition.
That's hilarious, Matt. That's the most American
good.
mindset. Yeah, they probably watched Disney and got the idea.
They watched a movie. They obviously got it from a movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They got it from us. It was from the
For
Americans.
sure.
But
It's probably like 1,000 years old
Right.
or some shit.
so now everyone is aura farming, including dudes on like a little Honda Civic, or well, I guess it's a Civic hatch. Publicly aura farming. Everyone's doing it, and some people can truly aura farm. Some cannot. They can't pull it off. You'll see, like if you pull it up, there's people they're aura farming on jet skis. They're aura farming everywhere. There's just folks. It's like if they can aura farm, and a lot of people they don't have the swag
No.
of the kids that are these aura farmers. I'm
Well,
like, you guys
so
need.
far you've mainly shown us the white chicks, and we
Yeah,
know
very true.
what that means.
Right.
They don't have it.
They don't have it. Like, yeah, look at this. She just looks scared to fall off the front of this jet ski. Is what's happening right here. No, you gotta.
It would be really funny if this video did end with him like gassing or braking so she flies forward.
Right. Yeah. Now he's got a little bit more swag. He's got a
He's
little
at
bit
least
of
flexing
movement
his
there.
legs.
Right. And I wish I could play the music with it because the music does make it better. But I have been seeing some of these like absolute chads just doing it on their boats, going like, like 50, 60 miles an hour on the water on the front of a boat. And it's pretty great. But and now I feel like I have to do it at some point. But yeah, everybody.
We gotta do like a reel
Right.
for Criticless.
Right.
Do it for
Exactly.
Criticless.
Aura farming. Yeah. But the problem with all of this is it's like, I'm educating all of you boomers right now, but then the deal is that this is probably not even going to be a fad in like a week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These things go so quickly. It's kind of wild. And so, but this is the current fad. So if you see anybody doing the thing, now you know.
Especially if you see him driving down the road in a shit box, like you know what they're trying to do. They're
Right.
trying to channel
Right.
some more power into their car.
Right. Or if they're just randomly at a gas station doing this weirdness. So yes, let's see here. I like how you know what? We don't say mansplaining around here.
Wow, what a mansplaining thing.
Yeah, way to mansplain us about mansplaining is what's happened.
What?
That's it. As Chris takes a rip on a vape.
I'm lost. But yeah, mansplaining.
Yep. No, I mean, whatever. Yeah, so there's another thing going on the internet right now, which is this little fella. I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
So have you guys seen Chit?
I've seen Chit.
Okay.
The black person.
Yes. So yes, we're gonna play that one right now. This is the one that really blew Chit up. Now the crazy thing about Chit is that this account has been around for not long. He only has like, I don't know, handful of videos. These right here. This is all he's made. He's already got over 1 million follows on TikTok, and it is blown up. Now, people have done some research. Turns out that this Jay Renshaw is actually an actor, and this is a brilliant move. These are very well. You guys will see, but they're picking up on a lot of inspiration from things like The Office, and we will turn up the audio.
What was that?
Is there a black person here?
What did you just say?
I said, is there a black person here?
Do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there a black person here?
Chit, why are you asking that?
Janice said there was one in here. Came to check.
There's a white person here too.
Well, I don't need one of those.
Chit, please stop what you're doing.
What's the big deal? I'm just trying to find the black person here.
Well, you found her. Okay, you got her today. Okay, let me see. Let me set my sparkling down.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
Chit, are you saying is there a black purse in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your haircut, Linda.
Thank you, Chit.
So yeah, this guy's absolutely blown up. It's pretty brilliant. It's a very, I would consider it a very office-y type of.
Yeah, that was my knee jerk because that was the first video I saw, and I was like, "This is so freaking smart." They've just decided to kind of remake an Office-esque thing,
right?
Which I don't know why that hasn't already been done. You don't have to make The Office. We obviously had Parks and Rec, but nobody else has been like, "Hey, let's make another comedy about like an office situation."
Right.
And it's like, we know it works.
Right.
There's a lot you can do with it. And Marvel was gonna do that with one of their shows. It was gonna be about an insurance.
Marvel?
Yeah, Marvel was. It was going to be basically about the cleanup crew that cleaned up behind all of the superhero damage.
And it was supposed to be like a comedy that was kind of in the office.
I think it was called Damage Control.
Yeah,
I remember.
And instead they canned that and did some other stupid show instead.
Yeah.
I would actually
they're
probably
dumb
watch that.
parts,
That sounds
but like
interesting.
It just has been a long time since we've had comedy like this.
Right. That's how. Easy. Right, exactly. And these guys, they're teed up. They've got a lot of the same actors that are in it. It's clearly they all act. They all are put in like they're filmed well. They're pretty simple, good hook for all of them. And if these guys aren't teeing themselves up for a show, like
they really need to.
Yeah.
Like the newest one, he's wearing like it's.
I might have
Chit
saved it
versus Gucci.
This one's good.
And I'm pretty sure that the peacock is Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, Chit. For the last time, I do not watch The Masked Singer.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Hey guys, we're supposed to be planning a Janice's surprise party.
I bought the card.
Oh yeah. Hey Chit, did you sign that yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Right here. Yeah.
Perfect.
I want everyone to start saying this.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good, right?
I don't know. What does it mean?
Do it, lady.
No, I don't know.
I know.
Blaine spit take.
Do it, lady. On your birthday.
Do what?
All of it. At once. Yeah. All the time. Or whenever you want. Yeah.
Hey, shit, I don't think that's a saying.
No. It is. Oh, Peter. Peter.
Yes.
Do it, lady.
What?
Do it, lady.
His delivery is so good.
Okay. No, it's not. It's not. It's not a saying, Chit.
It is catchy.
What?
Do it, lady.
Linda.
Yeah. Yeah. Do
Yeah.
it, lady.
Yeah.
Do it, lady.
Do it, lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Peter, you say it.
Do it, lady.
Oh my god.
Do it, lady.
Yeah.
Do it, lady. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
do it, lady.
Yeah.
Are you drinking?
Yeah. Yeah. Juice.
It's so good. But yeah, everyone needs to be aware of Chit. He's great. I don't know. I'm guessing, Chris, you've seen it, so he's clearly on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they be?
Right.
They should be on everything at this point. They're doing so well, even if it is just on X or TikTok.
Right.
Why would you not post that everywhere?
Right. It's brilliant. It's a great move, especially being that he's an actor. I hope that they get a gig out of this. I'm guessing they will, with how fast it blew up and this character. I would actually, because it kind of feels a little bit similar to how Rainn Wilson was in The Office.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the smart move would be to make this a series and possibly even keep him. He doesn't necessarily need to be like the main character.
Yeah.
Like, I think that character works really well as this like
sidekick.
Yeah. Like secondary, but still a focus. Kind of like how Rainn Wilson was back, where it's like everybody kind of gets similar screen time. But yeah, I think this is super cool. Or shoot, I mean, even if it doesn't get picked up in that kind of way, keep doing their own thing, blow up, make serious money on their own. And
well, that's the thing, is they could just keep doing this and make plenty of money. They could end up being a YouTube series, making money on YouTube. Why bother with the big TV where you lose a lot of money through because they'll take so much? But like, you could just continue doing this, make your own show, script your whole seasons. Like, why not?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I hope that they blow up and this does really well and they just continue to grow with this, because it is it's just pretty great. So that is two very big things that are currently happening in culture right now. You'll be hearing about at some point. Now, I did just want to. This made me a little bit. This guy has 2 million watches on this thing, and it's a pretty brilliant idea. I would probably pay to see this.
We should gather a bunch of people who love feet, and then find a bunch of people who are afraid of feet, and lock them in a room together. No socks. Imagine the chaos. We should gather a bunch of people who love feet.
My dude has big Matthew McConaughey energy, by the way. Imagine the chaos. But yeah, I would pay. That would be a reality show worth watching.
Yeah. Learning more things about Blake. First it was the furry convention.
Right.
Now
it's the feet. No, I've found out there's much more people in this community that have weirder feet things than me. You should hear Beardo talk about feet. He's both terrified and obsessed with them all at the same time. I can't quite figure it out.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know, people in feet, man. But I did save 2 different tech things. I was trying to decide which one to show, but I'll show the bigger one of the 2 because this is pretty cool, and it is a pretty interesting innovation. I was curious if y'all have heard about.
I'm about to go to the next level of strength, robotic strength. Oh my goodness. You could actually buy this thing. It's called the Hypershell Mountain Exoskeleton. And this is going to make walking, running, lifting easier to do. That's the idea of an exoskeleton, a little bit of cyborg mode. Look at this. Look at this guy. They actually want you to take it out hiking. So you're going up steeper inclines and you're carrying more gear and feeling less fatigue. That's what the battery unit.
So clearly it's like waterproof. It's made for outdoors.
Right.
This thing is kind of wild, and now the whole thing, they show the battery,
Like,
it just literally goes around your waist and your
It's
leg.
a user manual, a USB-C charge cable, and that's pretty much it. Hypershell Plus, this is the app. You don't need the app to operate it, but it has some added functionality. Okay, so wearable instructions, learn how to adjust and fit the device properly, fully charge the battery before first use, ensure the battery is inserted firmly. Yes. I've got it adjusted for my hips, and then these pieces are going to attach to my thighs. So we got this control over here on the side. Press it, and I am just going to jump right into the hyper setting as well. Okay, we're on. I feel it right away. It's at a level 2 in eco mode. It's subtle. I don't care for subtle. I'm going to switch to hyper mode. Whoa, that is accentuated, exaggerated. What?
So really wild concept. This is the type of thing that we've seen kind of in video games and stuff for years. And I like how he's like Marshall said, Beardo needs this because Beardo gets ragged for needing to go to do leg day. So yeah, I mean, yes. And also it's like in the Dark Knight.
The Batcave.
Yeah, it seriously, it is like the Batcave.
Batcave under the.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty cool idea, and we're at this point where tech is getting to where it is, and we're getting all these weird, freaking tech folks trying to push like this stuff, like with Elon and putting chips in your brain and all this crap and all these crazy body modifications. But it's like something like this I could understand or get behind. Where it's like,
sure, it's external,
right? Yeah. It's external. This isn't something that has to be modified onto your body, and if you need to get rid of it quickly, you can.
Right.
Nobody's going to hack into your body. So
right.
But I do think it's
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. And it sounds like we are at that point where there are some interesting innovations coming out that people are making. And it sounds like it was a drastic difference. Now, he did things in this video. It's a little longer than I wanted to show the whole thing. But like where he rides a skateboard and stuff, and he's like, that doesn't really help. It's like you have to be in motion because it's like it literally moves your legs for you.
Yeah. Did he do a running test?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, because that's what I want to see. I want to see him run without him.
Right.
Put him on and then run.
Yeah.
And have him like literally compare.
And he does show at the end, basically after taking them off, and he's basically like, it feels like I'm not even moving. Like, like in a bad way. Like it feels like I'm so slow. And like I'm like, so I could imagine that it's very jarring once you do take them off because you're just like, I feel weak, like I'm worthless. And kind of like what I saw somebody in the chat point out as well, where it seemed kind of like Death Stranding, Crisco did, which is very similar too, because he has all these eco things on to help him hike and move and whatever. Very similar vibe as well, and I think this is cool. I'm curious to see what happens with this and if these things become more popular, because it does make sense, especially for people with like heavy lifting blue collar jobs and whatever, if they create like upper exo ones and stuff.
Well, especially if they employ him in the workforce, which is where I'd be pitching it, because you're right. Like if you be in the workforce and you wear an exosuit, you now can lift double or triple what you could.
Right.
Then you're moving more with less work and things like that.
Mhm.
I actually saw a video, and it was in China, and it was like this hiking area, this like very popular like trail, and they give you these, or they give you the option to like rent these to make your hike better, because it's one of those ones where it's like 1,000 steps up or something like that to the top of a mountain. And that was the first time I ever saw these, and I was like, that is crazy. And this is actually the first time I've seen somebody be like, this is actually like,
right,
here it is.
It works. And that's the thing, is if we're seeing it on a commercial grade now, you know that the military's had all this stuff for like a while, and they're doing like awesome shit with it probably. So yeah, which, and as El Capitan, I put it up a minute ago, but yeah, he's like, until the government takes it over and marches you into the re-education camp. So.
Yeah.
And also, what up, buddy? I hope you are feeling better. Know that you were a little under the weather and had some surgery and stuff. So I hope you're doing well. And we're glad to see you in Criticless the other day when you were in there. And apparently they had a similar item in Megan 2.0, said binge-worthy. That's really interesting. I did not know that. So that's I'm curious about that movie. And go check out the scores in Criticless. They've started to come in, right, Matt?
Yeah.
We've seen some come in, and it seems like everybody's not so hot on it.
Yeah, because it came out last weekend.
Yeah. And I saw some interesting things about that. We might touch on that a little bit later, but I guess what we need to do now probably is move out of the culture for boomers, and we want to talk for just a minute about what's going on in the news. Me and Matt are fighting for the button.
Well, I didn't know, because you like paused.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if you were going to.
Sometimes I do it.
Right. And you did the first one. So I was like, oh, Blanche is doing it.
But yeah, so I mentioned at the start of the show that there has been a death that was just announced in Hollywood. And see, these guys, while they're not on screen, are taking their headsets. No, you're fine. Take your headset off.
Okay.
Take your headset off. Y'all are good. I'm just in the middle of talking, so I wasn't taking mine off. But
you look like a NASCAR driver with them on.
Yeah,
he's gonna be there forever talking. So
right,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah, because everybody knows I can suck every last bit of air out.
Oh, you can suck.
You can suck all the room. Air out of the room. Damn it. The air out of.
Call me air, baby.
So we are trying to do this a little different, where we used to screen share differently, and I think I've shared the wrong screen. Of course I did.
This is news.
This is news. It's Deadline. Oh, here we go. All right. So who has passed is Michael Madsen, and they shared it. I guess you guys are probably familiar with him and his work.
Yeah.
So Michael Madsen has passed. Now, according to the article, he's only 67 years old.
Dang.
Which is,
man,
real
young.
Way too young. Now, I haven't seen him in anything in a while. He's one of those guys that was a friend of Tarantino. Yeah, I mean, because like as one of the things.
Yeah, literally, that's the only thing I think about.
Right.
When I see him.
Right. So that's been the biggest thing with him, is that I think people recognize him from. But it's really sad. It's a real bummer, because he was clearly young. And
did it say his cause of death?
Yeah. So I kind of scrolled in, because I saw this actually as we were coming into the studio. Now, the very common thing of late is for them not to say.
Sure.
It seems to be happening a lot more with when these types of folks pass. They keep it close to the chest, and you might find out like a month or two. They kind of seem to wait until the news dies down on this sort of thing. But this article that I found, and the other one I was looking at, did not say.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense, because a lot of times when they say the cause of death, everyone like freaks out.
Right, exactly.
And then everyone goes on a goose chase for this, that, or the other.
Right. And everybody's always trying to like look for more meaning in why these people passed, or what they could have been up to, or whatever. That's always the case. But of late, it seems to be like with a lot of these cases, it's just pretty normal stuff, like it might be that they were suffering from cancer or something, and nobody knew. So, but I did pull him up on Criticless, and so we've got a list here of everything he was in, and I haven't seen him in anything of late, like I mentioned. But I mean, Sin City, that's another one. Like, I mean, even things like Free Willy. I mean, this dude has been around for a long time and been in a whole lot of films. I mean, it just goes on and on. And I just, this is a loss. It's a real bummer, especially at that age. It's just like, it's not like he was one of these actors that was, really old.
Yeah.
This list is wild. It just keeps going. He was in a lot of stuff that I didn't
that's
need.
honestly the kind of actor like I don't want to be an A-lister actor. I want to be that B or C-list actor that's just in a shit ton of stuff.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where I'm like, you'll know me if you see me. You won't know my name.
Right.
You won't come hound me because you don't know who I am. But I'll be about all these cons and stuff. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, you're my favorite character in some random movie.
You're that dude.
I'm like, yeah, I am that dude. Dude, let's go. But you don't know my name, so you can't stalk me. Woo!
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So Sin's Corner said it did in some of them that said heart failure. So yeah. And said he didn't take the best care of himself when he was younger. And so yeah, that it is really, really sad, and I hate to hear it. And so yeah, it's we'll see what shakes out with that. And I don't know. Also, as far as Sin said, it's like with heart failure, we know Twisted Reality brought up a thing where it's like there have been people that have died from experimental shots and things of late that also connect to heart failure. And so it's like that's another reason why some of these things don't get brought up from time to time. So I either way, very sad news. And I hate to hear it. And like Sin was saying, also with people like him, if you went real hard,
yeah, being an actor, I think in the 80s, 90s, like
it was a Wild West.
Yeah, you're just doing lines every other day, probably. But
right.
Yeah,
right.
Probably isn't the best for your
throwing
heart.
down, especially that like Tarantino crowd.
Oh,
I feel
can
like
only imagine the madhouse that was those sets.
Right. It just it just seems like that whole crew of people lived pretty wild for a while there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do hate it, but at least the guy had a good life. He had a very fulfilling life. He did a lot. So
yeah,
that's at least great. Now there was one other piece of news that I wanted to talk about because I quite literally busted out laughing when I saw it.
Okay.
And man, all right, here we go.
All right,
I'm gonna pull it up.
Let's see it.
And can you guys with an ad?
Oh yeah, that's a card.
There you go. You're welcome. Sinners on Max will include a Black American Sign Language version. It is.
Hold on. I have a new goal. I want to learn Black American Sign Language. It's gonna happen. Let me put it in my green journal real quick.
Yep. Learn Black American Sign Language.
Yeah.
I mean, what is happening, guys? What is going on? What is this? I want to know.
I want to know too what that means. Because honestly, I've always been confused why there isn't just a universal sign. Because we have American ASL, American Sign Language. Apparently, we have Black people sign language. But why isn't it just universal?
Because there's a lot of different idioms and ways that people.
If they would just simplify it all.
Yeah. Hey,
because it's not spoken. It's literally just.
I vote for you.
I just can't feel like if you were to see Black American Sign Language in action, it's not going to come across as racist. Like I feel like it's almost
I
guaranteed
want to watch the movie because I've never even heard of this in PSL because I'm curious to see what it looks like.
Well, yeah. What is a movie in sign language? Like, do they just have a person in the corner being like?
Yeah. I think it's just somebody signing in in a corner.
Wait, hold on. If it's a movie, they're watching. Just put subtitles. What do you mean sign language?
Exactly.
Just put.
I don't know.
Subtitles.
I noticed Minecraft is like this. There is a ASL Minecraft version on Max. So
okay.
I don't know.
But also, who are the people learning Black American Sign Language? Like, I feel like that still has to be something that. Wow, that's very racist. Is this something that's just
not racist
taught? Like, or is it just a part of the culture? Like, did they evolve it and it's not something that's like taught in schools? It's just understood. Like, it's cool as fuck. They're making their own thing out of it. Cool,
Right. I mean, got their own national anthem.
Yeah, there's just nothing but throwing up, blood signs for that. I feel like
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like watching it is gonna have to come across as like some level of.
All right, Crisco said that's what it is.
Is what?
I'm guessing he's talking about like in the corner.
Yeah, right. It's showing it in the corner. Yeah, it's.
I feel like that's even more distracting than subtitles, though. Like watching a person do sign language.
I just don't understand, like you said, why it's needed. Unless they're trying to do it because this is gonna be really bad. But like maybe they can't read. That they they don't know how to read, but they only know like
I'm pretty
ASL,
sure.
BSL, like, but
Well,
that's the only reason I can come
and
up
you know
with
what's
it right
funny
now.
is like no, I know what you mean by the fact that like it's like it almost sounds worse, but like this is how a lot of people that are involved with these types of things think. And like the way that they think is regularly way more racist than like
Right.
whatever
You're
they're
talking about the people that are trying to be
to push things
accommodating or
like
actually making it.
accommodate these things.
Sure,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're racist and they're accommodating.
Right, exactly. So I mean they're bragging in the article basically about this being like a new step for inclusion, and this is the very first time that the Black deaf community will have streaming access to a more immersive experience in their language. Like I it's kind of one of these weird things where I'm just like, this just feels like another way to just be more divisive, and like it's just like what.
So look, the beacons are lit, man. Gondor knows the signaling crystal clear. We got you. You're doing a great
I'm
job.
still
Yeah.
pondering like why they would do this, though, like what the reasoning would be between this and subtitles.
Why is there a
The only
giant-
thing I could figure is maybe that it's like more inclusive with like sounds
Right.
is the only thing I
that they
could
can't
figure.
hear?
Yeah, but like maybe they sign sound
Oh.
better than like seeing it written, because obviously they can't.
Yeah. You could be right. You
I'm just saying this is.
I'm gonna choose to believe you.
Right.
I like that idea
Yeah,
better than anything I
I
can.
need to find a deaf person so I can ask.
Yeah,
that.
they're like fully
you gotta
artists.
find a Black deaf person because the white ones will not understand what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
I'll be like, here's the Minecraft movie. Watch this.
Right.
Now tell me
What is the
why
purpose
is this
of
not
this?
subtitled?
Ask them what the difference is. Right.
Yes. What,
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
we need to find somebody.
Yeah, they're like Foley artists for the deaf.
Yeah.
Everything
That's
about
the thing.
this is just absurd and wild and makes me laugh. I mean, hey, kudos to Sinners for being the mega success that it is. It makes sense that something like this would be tested out on that. And if you were interested in watching Sinners, the film is actually going to premiere tomorrow on Max. So
I'm gonna watch it in Black American Sign Language version.
yeah, for sure. I mean, clearly one of us needs to so that we
Right.
can understand it.
For research.
And yeah, of course, research
Yeah.
purposes only, and try to decide how if it does actually come across as racist as
Right.
it sounds.
I will have to learn Black American Sign Language first.
Okay. That's like a
Should be.
week-long project. For you.
Yeah. It should be no problem.
Right, and apparently Eternal Glory did not like Sinners.
Ah.
But then
wow.
you've got people like Epic Mike, who I was hoping that he might pop on this show. There was rumors of possibly Monday Hangover people popping on, so that I
right
could.
now while we're talking about this.
Right. Yeah, his ears are going to be burning. He's going to be like, heard y'all talk about Black Sign Language. So,
Like, do you know it?
yeah, no, yeah. We need to ask Mike. So maybe he
I
knows.
get that reference.
Because I sure don't have any idea what this is, what the purpose of it is, or how it works. Shit's wild. People are crazy, and this kind of blew my mind. But I think what we're going to do now is talk about what's streaming. Okay, I left my headset on that entire time. Now I'm
like
not
a fool.
I know, like a complete and total idiot. Which I've gotten smart about all the other streams that I do, where I wear the earbuds, and those are so much better than external headphones.
They really
man.
are.
Like
In
especially
limited.
well, and if
use.
you've got a comfortable pair, right? I used to have some where they have the little the downwards thingies.
Yeah.
Those hurt like down through here. Like
Oh.
I think the Apple ones do.
Yeah.
I think
AirPods.
the AirPods or whatever, but we don't talk about Apple
I
around
don't
here.
really have problems with my AirPods,
Yeah.
especially like the pros, because they're very similar. I mean, they have like the little bit that comes out and sticks in your ear.
Right,
I don't find them uncomfortable for long periods of time. But
right.
Yeah. I got sensitive ears, I guess.
yeah. Well, my problem when I worked in corporate America, especially if you're on meetings all day long,
Right.
was just any headphone that was on your ear.
Yeah.
So what Xena did is she went and bought like AirPods, but that plug in, so you don't have to worry about battery life.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it's so much better, and it sounds better than the professional quality ones that like where she
Jabras.
worked provided.
Throw
Jabra.
shade at Jabra.
I like how Chris instantly knew a Bobo brand.
Oh no, they're like fucking $280 for
Really?
these headsets that we buy for everybody in the cast.
Oh yeah,
That's wild.
it's
They're
insane. I mean, when I worked at Wells, it was the same because one of my last positions, they were like, "Oh, welcome to the team. Here's a whole list of headphones you can pick out, whatever you want."
Oh,
And I was
Mm.
like, "Well, I don't know if I want to get fancy with them," and so I just picked
Beats
out
by
what I thought
Dre,
was nice.
please.
right.
No, it was like it was a specific list, but it was like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, these
They're
are expensive,
commercial
and I
stuff,
hope
yeah.
they're good." But
Right.
Yeah, I mean they work. They're just overpriced and break real easy.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share something. I think you guys can. There we go.
Yeah.
We got some checklists
Jaws.
up on the screen here. Yeah, we've got people. We've got reviews coming in like Wine Fiend for Team America. And make sure to drop your Team America review. We will touch on some of those that are in the app currently. But one thing I wanted to show everybody was our groups here. So we've got a groups tab over here on the side, and I'm scrolling down. So this was our streaming segment. We're going to be talking about some things that we've been watching, and I was looking for the Anime Nerds group where I was going to scroll in and look for a post that I posted yesterday. Now, this is our Anime Nerds group ran by For the Users, friend of the show and user on Criticless. Make sure to give her a follow. And we've got I Miss Good Movies dropping that Dan to Dan season starts tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Wow,
I
that's
mean,
quick.
dude, this is freaking anime month.
Right.
There are at least 4 animes that I'm interested in watching that have new seasons coming out this month. Dan to Dan, My Hero Academia.
Right.
The last season part 2 comes out. God, what's the other? Kaiju number 8, Solo Leveling. All have their season starting this month.
New Solo Leveling?
Yeah.
Brother. Thank God.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
the Dan
Solo Leveling is done. The new season's done.
Oh. No, I thought the new season started.
No. It's done. It just finished.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
it just finished. It was great.
season
Season 2
Oh,
just
okay.
finished. Season
Well,
2.
damn, you got my hopes up for nothing.
I love to ruin your life.
I think Dan Dan's already going.
Sakamoto
Days.
Days.
Oh.
Yeah, new season starts too.
What? That just ended.
Well, it's like the second half of the season or something like that.
Okay.
But hopefully it's another 20 episodes or whatever.
Okay. So on our anime tangent here, I was going to bring up really quick and just show navigating Criticless for a second. But I've been watching Lazarus, which is a new show that I just started.
Okay.
And I shared it. If you notice from this poster, if there's a very famous anime that this shares some qualities with.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, Cowboy Bebop. And it turns out that this is actually not only the same guy who created it. I put his name on here. I can't say his first name, but Watanabe's his last name. So he is actually the guy who created this. And interestingly enough, it has that show all over this as far as the vibe. It's got the jazz music. It's got the vibes. Sure. Cowboy Bebop, if you're a fan. Now, one thing that I did post in Criticless and that I was a little worried about was being that if you see on here on our where it's streaming, it's on Max, but this is an Adult Swim show. Now, if you are an anime fan, you know that that's not super common, which made me wonder what level of Western influence was on this. A lot of the reasons that people like anime is actually because a lot of the Western influences aren't there, which means not a lot of the woke crap that everyone hates, the agenda pushing, the politics, all that stuff. I was hesitant because it was on Max and all that. And I was like, we'll see. One of the telltale signs that I've noticed for anime is if you notice a lot of hyper diversity focus as far as the characters and stuff, then it's got a Western influence.
Yeah.
And I saw that outright and I was like, okay, we'll see. Because when it's actual Asian anime, they just don't hyper focus on that. They aren't concerned about just having every different type of ethnicity and all of that. They just don't really tend to worry about it a lot. Or if they do, it's just more subtle. This show didn't come across that way. And sure enough, by episode 4, we have inserted just kind of pointless trans characters, people talking about being black and issues with that. And I was just like, shit, why?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference to me is that they don't focus on that.
Right.
They can have all these different crazy characters, you'll have, oh God, what was that one from One Punch where the dude was always naked and like posing very flamboyant?
Yeah.
But never, it was just like, I'm a gay man and like,
It didn't matter.
this is my identity. So I think it's more of like a subtlety thing with it being Eastern. It's just like, this is who they are. We don't need to like delve into it and make it a focus point.
Right. But when it's connected to the more Western stuff, it's like,
let's spend an episode exploring trans.
Have you noticed how I'm black and all of the hardships that I've had? And also that I am a trans person. And there was an episode where it did some of that. So it's 13 episodes. I'm on like episode 6 or 7.
Okay.
That stuff aside, it's still a pretty solid show with a cool concept. That stuff was in like 1 episode. So I'm like, I'll hold out judgment. There are some people that see that stuff and they're like, gone. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
Yeah.
Don't care. So I get that. I'm hanging it out. The show is gorgeous. It looks fantastic. It's basically like if Cowboy Bebop was made now. Like it is. It looks stunning. And the story is really cool. It's actually about a doctor who created a drug, which was basically. Hey, I would actually kind of almost like to see this in like a live action thing.
Right.
But a doctor creates a drug, and this drug basically makes people so that they can't feel pain. Not only do they not feel pain, but they also don't feel like emotional pain.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, everyone gets hooked on it. Well, when he designed the drug, he made it to where basically there was a timer in this drug, and after it's been out for 3 years, everybody on the body's taking it, and he's like, all right, well, everyone who's ever taken this, you have been infected, and basically you have X amount of time to live and you're going to die.
Yep.
And it's just basically a way to kill everybody.
And they made it, I actually did watch this too.
Okay.
Totally forgot about it because I thought it was boring.
Oh, interesting. Well, there's not.
I watched like 5 episodes and I was
really?
just like, I would forget the premise of the story.
Right.
And be like, well, what's happening?
It's a little
What is
complex. That's
watching?
probably why. If you,
it was just like one of those things where like it was not interesting.
Okay.
And I was just like, why am I even watching? So I stopped and never went back.
Right.
Yeah, but they made sure the kids didn't take the pills. So it was like only like adults were supposedly taking it.
Well, no, that actually they get into that, and actually kids got hooked on it. A lot of kids. So they banned kids from it, and of course the kids were like, "Well, of course we're going to take it."
Yeah,
sure.
And so the kids did too. So yeah, and I saw Jared was asking in the chat what show. This is Lazarus. I do find it very interesting. Actually, it turns out that Chad Stahelski, who is the choreography guy for the John Wick movies, is actually doing all of the like fight choreography and movements and stuff in this show. So a lot of the action is like very like kinetic and feels very John Wicky. There's a character that he kind of moves like that, and he's kind of a risk taker or whatever. It's a team up. They're all trying to find the guy who did this, because basically the doctor was like, if you can find me, I'll give everyone the antidote, but someone has to find me before X date.
Which is dumb.
It is an
That's
interesting.
like a dumb premise. Like, I'm in a drug, I'll kill everybody unless you find me where Waldo bitches.
It's Carmen Sandiego.
Right. Well, I think I know where this is maybe headed.
He's actually dead. That's a real life view to everybody.
Yeah, right. No, I think he's alive. I'm interested to see where they go with it.
Well,
it depends on if it goes to like a commentary level too far.
I mean, you go based off the name of the show, Lazarus,
right?
Which is a man who raised from the dead.
Yeah.
So,
right. Or are they
Context
talking
clues.
about the people who all took it, and if they rise from the dead, they're all set to die and they don't? Could also be a reference to that.
Could
All the
be.
people who took it, but I have no idea. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna keep watching it because I'm intrigued. But
Is it all out? Because I was watching it when it was originally releasing weekly. This is another reason I fell off. If you're releasing weekly, I fall off. Almost every show that's weekly release, I stop watching after a couple episodes just because I forget. I forget about it. And this was one of those.
yeah, it is still weekly, I think. So I think it's
Maybe one day I'll watch it.
Yeah. So we'll see. You'll be able to. I'll let you know, because I'm going to try and finish it unless it keeps doing some of the agenda pushy stuff that they've been doing. So because I think it looks very cool and it is intriguing and interesting. But as far as the types of things that you like as well, you like a more fantasy hook or something, and there's not really any of that in this.
Yeah, and maybe that is too much of like a person. And I think the premise is dumb. Also, because it's just like, oh, if you find me, you get the cure.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Is he hidden? Does he hide himself?
No, yeah, he hid himself. He's literally playing Where Waldo in the world, and this team and other teams are like coming up with ways to try to find him.
But why?
Because supposedly he has a cure that he'll share with the world.
Yeah, but why is he hiding?
Right. Well, we don't know. We don't know. So I think that it's a whole thing of he's left enough breadcrumbs and whatever for people to actually discover why he created this drug. And there's going to be a lesson for humanity to learn in everyone taking it and trying to remove their pain. And so
very pretentious of this doctor.
Right. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
Just let them all die.
Well, and
Natural selection.
yeah, he seems to not be bothered by that. So we'll see what he does. But yeah, so that's a show I'm watching. What are you guys checking out? I know that lots of times when we start talking anime, people are like, screw this.
Sure.
So yeah.
Chris, you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, have you seen anything?
Yeah, I've actually watched a good bit and a good bit of anime. I've been on anime kick here lately. So I don't think I had watched this a while ago, but I did watch Predator Killer of Killers. I don't think I've.
Oh, yeah.
Right. This is a new movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new Predator movie.
Yeah, animated.
Right.
True.
Very interestingly done. I really enjoyed it.
You
I
did.
thought it was good.
And I think Matt thoroughly disliked it, correct?
Oh.
That's true. It wasn't
I'm
like,
trying to
I think it's like a
bring
low
this up.
decent for me. It just seemed like all these guys were able to like kick all these predators' asses and continuously. I'm just like
Yeah.
the Viking one.
Yeah.
Was just so over the top and
Oh,
ridiculous.
I loved it. Yeah.
It's just like this is dumb.
It was great because it was animated. If it was live action, it probably would have
Yeah.
been real cheesy and
Yeah.
unbelievable. But
Right.
anything is possible in the land of imagination. Of
Yeah, I think
animation.
by the end, like if I'd stopped early, I would have
Mhm.
probably put it like a bogus or heinous.
Uh-huh.
And making it to the end, I did raise my score. I actually never reviewed it because it promptly left my brain.
Yeah.
That I watched it, except telling Blaine that I watched it.
Yeah.
And
Since
like
we're
Dina
like,
did the same thing. She was in the same boat. We,
Yeah.
we,
Right.
we normally like align our opinions on stuff.
people seem to
fair.
be fairly torn on this one. We do have Criticless scores. There's people that love it. Like, I mean, we have Most Excellence in here, and you know, a lot of the usual folks. There's a lot of rads, but then we also have plenty of like boguses and stuff too. It's
Yeah.
But I think by and large, people are enjoying it. It's at a 68%, which is quite high, honestly. So but that's by 35 people. This is streaming on Hulu, or technically you're like Disney Plus / Hulu, whatever, if you
I
have
think
that.
it is on
So
Disney, which is wild because it's
it's like a rated R thing.
It's-
It's because
yeah, it's rated
it's
R.
really technically on Hulu. It's just that they
Oh,
like
okay.
integrated their apps now
Gotcha.
because it's the same company.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. I mean, it was
I'm
there
glad.
was. I feel like the American person, because basically it kind of goes based off of different cultures.
right,
There's
like
like
the fighter pilot American.
Vikings, yeah. There is samurai, and then there was this American pilot. And like immediately, I was like, God, this American pilot, like you can't compare to the fucking Viking and the
Right.
samurai with like.
Right.
Anyways, but by the end of it, I actually appreciated the American pilot just as much as the other ones.
Right.
I feel like they worked well together, and I liked the story. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
Alright.
I'm not going to say it's definitely not a most excellent in my mind. I'd probably put it in like the high 70s,
So rad.
probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was enjoyable overall.
Right.
Another thing I was watching, for the anime portion,
Yes.
was part of it, Soul Bianca. It's a 1990s anime movie.
Okay.
It's kind of I get on these little trends where I'll just kick on these like really old ass anime movies.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, my algorithm will throw this to me. Occasionally, some random like 80s, 90s anime stuff. But this one was actually pretty enjoyable. It's just about a group of lesbian space pirates, and
perfect show for you.
it's great. You know, no, it was really well done. I enjoyed it. I would say check it out if
If you're
like,
into lesbian space
Yeah,
pirates.
you like lesbian space pirates. No, I mean it's a pretty straightforward. I think it's only like an hour and 20 minutes or something. It's really short.
I've got it
obviously.
pulled up here. It's 55 minutes. It was made in 1990.
So even shorter than I thought. But I'd say check it out. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
I
we
won't-
have no reviews in Criticless. So
yeah,
you know,
well, that's understandable.
Yeah. That's the thing with
Only
these
it's super
older
popular.
things where it's just like people have yet to start reviewing. We'll
Right,
eventually
so-
have these people come in that are like, I love 90, like true like 80s, 90s anime and start reviewing that stuff.
right.
We just haven't got there yet. And Chris
Yeah.
won't review, so
I might. If nobody's reviewed it, I
No.
might hop in there and do
It
it
is
just to
fun to
kick it
review.
off, you know?
Right. Start this because honestly, that is the way Criticless works, where it's like very much a community where somebody will review something like that, and then everybody's like, "I've never heard of that. I'm checking that out," and then it's just kind of snowballs, and all of a sudden we have like 10 of them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that could easily happen just from you dropping a review for it. So
I might do that.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will not hold my breath.
Please don't. I don't want to
You
be
might
responsible.
I don't want to die.
Yep.
This one.
Yep.
Yep.
that's
And apparently there was more than one of these, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that there were some other kind of adjacent stuff to it. I haven't made it that far. I just saw something on it and wanted to check it out. I actually watched it on YouTube. That's
Oh.
how irrelevant it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or unrelevant, whatever
Right.
the word is for it.
Irrelevant.
I don't speak English.
Irrelevant. That's it.
But yeah, it's the full thing is on YouTube, hasn't been copyright struck, and
Yeah.
it's been on there for like 7 years or something.
Right.
Well, I
So,
think a lot of times stuff gets just disowned more or less. Where
Yeah.
Nobody owns it, and then it's just like
right.
floats
The
out
publishing
there
company
and-
for that
Right.
doesn't even
Yeah.
exist
It's
anymore.
just stuck in like purgatory, and so
Right.
no one cares that it's out in the
Exactly.
wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one, I think someone in the chat I think it was Jared, was saying you need to watch Appleseed. I remember him reviewing that a while back, and it's an old retro anime.
Oh, Johnny
tonight
No, I don't think so. I was looking to see if I could
Appleseed.
find it.
What year did it come out?
I was trying to find it because I
Jared.
remember back when he reviewed it.
Tell me.
I did find it. It was from 2004, actually, so it's not as old.
Okay.
But I do remember him reviewing that back when he did. And
Cool.
so, yeah, I'm sure
I'll check it out.
this might be one of those you can find on YouTube too. This seems like an interesting one where they incorporated some of that like CG anime. Now, I don't know. This might not be the same one. This might actually be a remake.
Oh, he said that's the wrong one.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember.
I was about to
That's
say,
why I
if
asked
it was
for the
original.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
the 2001 is not the original because I remember the art that he showed on the one that he saw was way different.
All right.
So it could be any of these. Maybe this one. I have
well,
no
if he reviewed it, we could go to his page and look.
I think it might be this one. Yep, this is it. It was in '88 actually.
88. Hell
the,
yeah.
The
It's a
year
good
we
year.
were born. So, yeah. And that art looks a lot better than the weird computer stuff that they did.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's gun to me,
Dude.
Yep.
I appreciate the old art styles so much. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Even though I'm in IT and like love technology or whatever, but there's something about the just like granular, like artistic way that these older films are done for anime. Like I really appreciate that artistic style in it. I don't know. It does something to me. I like it. But yeah, the other thing that I've been watching was Solo Leveling. I did finally watch that. Binged it all last weekend, all 2 seasons.
Of what now?
Solo Leveling.
Solo Leveling.
I know. I think you had mentioned this a while back,
Love
Blaine.
it.
And
Yeah, it's pretty good.
it's really good. I enjoy the whole concept of it.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like a very abrupt ending for the second season.
did.
I felt like
It did.
obviously there's more seasons coming, clearly, but
This is at a 93 on Criticless, by the
Solo
way.
Leveling?
Yeah, Solo
Sure.
Leveling.
Yeah.
Like Matt has probably one of the lower opinions of the show out of anybody I've heard. This thing's like nothing but hundreds and 90s and like. But I have found that it's really funny because I wasn't the anime
Mine's
guy.
only a rad.
Yeah, Matt is the only rad in the app. No, wait, no. There's 2 more. But I think for the user's opinion will probably change because I don't think she's seen season 2. But either way, we got Master of TDS in here as well. But yeah, it's almost excellence. I think the show's phenomenal personally. But what I was going to say a minute ago was that Matt was always the big anime guy. And 9 times out of 10 now, when it turns out that I like a whole lot more animes by and large than you do.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
yeah,
have
he's
like
the big anime guy, but he just doesn't like them.
right. He doesn't.
Well,
like,
no, I'm just more picky about what I like. That's all it comes down to. Is like I still like
Yeah,
a
you
lot of
don't like
animes. It's just I'm a little more harsh, and I don't really particularly like what's it called SK anime with Asake, whatever this kind is, because to me it's always so predictable. And it's the same for this show.
As far as like the story, or
well, it's just that he's unstoppable. These are unstoppable forces.
Right.
That's what these animes are.
So like One Punch Man, you didn't like?
No, I do like One Punch Man because it's comedic.
See, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that One
one's
Punch
really
Man is
funny.
actually I like One Punch Man less than a lot of people do.
Ooh, yeah, I love One Punch Man.
No, I love One Punch Man too because it's so funny.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
hilarious.
what makes that one so great.
Okay, sure.
But like this one, it's all serious, but he slays everything without a problem. It's very rarely does he have a difficulty.
Yeah.
And when he does have difficulty, he's overcome within like a minute or 2. It's not
Sure.
drawn out at all to be like suspenseful.
Right.
It's, oh, I just kicked this guy's butt. Cool, done. Oh, everyone saw me do it. Oops. Like that's literally
That was a very kawaii of you.
Well,
I
thank
think
you
that's
very
what they say, right?
yeah, I think so.
No, I can agree. I do feel like it would be beneficial to the series for him to lose.
Yeah.
In some way. But I do feel like losing in most cases means death. So it's kind of hard to weave that into
It has to
you know
be
what I mean?
done right.
Right.
And so like not to
If he can
but
retreat.
like in One Piece, for example,
Mhm.
Luffy has lost multiple times.
Okay.
And it's not like a death, but it's where he loses and then he has to get back up and recover and figure out how to move forward. And I feel like this particular kind of anime doesn't do that.
Sure.
And that's
But-
just what makes it uninteresting.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, but there's also the opposite side of the coin to me, in my mind, of Dragon Ball Z, which I do love Dragon Ball Z, but there's also the like kind of zero consequence kind of thing of where like
Right.
they can get beat all the time, but then they just like throw enough sensu beans at them or gather all the balls and they can summon them back. It's just kind of
Right,
like,
because how many times has Goku died?
yeah, like a ton. Like Krillin is the worst, I think, at that. But yeah, so I can see it kind of from both sides.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
like where like there's the person who never loses. It's like Superman in my mind of just like
Mhm.
I'm disinterested, or the case where they can lose but then they're brought back, so there's also no consequence there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I don't know, for this it's enjoyable. I like the concept, the
Mhm.
styling, how the show is laid out.
I mean, it's
Oh,
been
because it
considered
is
like one of the most popular animes ever.
Oh,
like
really?
Yeah, it was
already after
breaking
like
like
2 seasons.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Like
It's breaking
every
all
time
the
it drops an episode, it like breaks records. And don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. Like I like how it looks. It is a cool concept, but that's why I still give it a rat and not anything lower. Because
Right.
like,
it's just very video gamey to me.
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
way of like
yeah.
making
but that's where
progression.
it'd be
No,
great
like
if you
board
lost.
gamey or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, and there's no guarantee that that won't happen. I think that the story's
Yeah.
going in places where it's building up for that, and I think it makes it hit harder if you make this kind of Superman-esque character that is
Mhm.
unbeatable, and then you find a way to knock him down a peg or two.
Right, which is what Invincible does.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
Invincible had that exact idea. Like, let's
Right.
take Superman and be able to knock him down a couple pegs.
Right, for sure. So, well, cool. I'm glad you're liking Solo Leveling, Chris.
Yeah.
It is
I'm
great.
excited for season 3
Me
coming
too.
out soon. I
Yeah,
did
me
not
too.
realize.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's a-
3's not soon. 3 is
No,
actually
3 is not
nights off.
soon.
Don't
What the
listen to
fuck?
Matt. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't listen
No,
to
I
Matt.
Oh,
was
that's
wrong on
right.
Yeah, he was wrong.
Yeah.
God dang it.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason I was mad at you. Couldn't remember.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Right. So, sorry, I was reading chat.
It's a weird, awkward pause there. Matt, I think
Blaine's
it's your
trying
turn.
to read.
Sorry, I was
That's
reading
all
that.
it is.
We've
Blaine's trying to read.
we've
It's
got
hard
Jonas
on him.
Campbell. Well, so
The Jonas Brothers?
Yeah,
They're here?
Jonas Campbell hopped in. So, yeah, he's just giving words so that we then bring up those said words, essentially. So,
What did Bruce Campbell do?
but yes,
Blaine's
very.
brain just sort of shorted a little bit.
It,
It's
I
cool.
mean,
It's cool.
that's pretty typical of me. So,
All right.
Matt, did you want to talk about something that you've
Yes.
seen quick here?
I want to talk about Sharktopus.
Sharktopus.
Well,
or in some
if you're
Sharktopus.
gonna type it out, Sharktopus.
Okay.
Just so you know,
But if there's more than one, it's a
shark
shark to pussy.
And
Shark
which
pussies.
it could
Shark
be that.
pussies.
Well, and which one? So I'm
the first one. It just
okay.
and it's
I was gonna say I'm critically
it's
this.
the second picture
there's-
there.
It's it's
Yeah.
that one.
Yep,
Okay, there we go. That's a Sharktopus right there.
that's a shark.
If I've ever, it also looks kind of like a porcupine.
Well, it's a
and,
shark and an octopus combined.
What are the
obviously?
what are the spines? What is that? That's just
I don't know. It's part of the Sharktopus.
okay.
You can't question science, bro.
And you gave it a 10%.
Yes.
With "I'm on a Boat," of course,
Yes.
because it's the most appropriate song
For
for
being on a boat.
a film called Sharktopus.
Yeah, this movie's bad. The
Yeah.
CGI, they like, and it's funny because it's not like Jaws where they don't show the shark at all.
Right.
They start off and they're like, "Here's the Sharktopus," and it looks like they designed this in like, I don't know. This came out in like 2004 or something like that.
Right.
So
I
this
think
is
this was
probably-
one of those like Sci-Fi Channel.
I don't
like-
think it even made the Sci-Fi Channel. I've seen much better Sci-Fi Channel movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the CGI for the shark is just god awful,
Yeah.
and they show it all the time. They do not shy away from showing it. It literally like randomly comes up to shore and grabs people off the beach. And it'll be like a perfect like normal like beach scene, and then you just see a CGI tentacle come out of nowhere. Doesn't affect the water or anything. They don't bother like with the water
Sure.
ripples.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it just grabs a person. You see a person getting screaming and getting carried into the water.
Right.
It's so bad. But what makes it even worse
Mm-hmm.
is the acting is just flat. It's
Right.
flat. It's people going, "This is my line, and I am reading it." And they'll show because they show the Sharktopus killing people on a regular basis.
Right.
It happens over and over again.
Yeah.
And you can tell they just must have fall water. What is that? Oh no. And you're just like, oh my God. And they do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they were like, we're going to show our creation so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the main cast, one of the guys is famous. I recognize him from a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Dean
Terrible.
Cain.
Terrible actor.
Don't
this.
badmouth Dean Cain like that.
He's just in everything. So,
yeah. Right.
But yeah, it's just bad. And there's 2 sequels apparently. A different director did them, and you had them pulled up there for a second because
Yeah.
they have
There's
amazing
been
names.
more than one.
Oh yeah,
actually
there's been
4.
multiple. I've kind of got the video playing here a little bit, just
So there's
so
actually
people could see it.
4,
but
and the sequels sound amazing because one of them is Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf.
A whale wolf?
Whale Wolf.
Hell yeah.
I mean that does sound kind of sick.
Yeah.
On board.
And see, this is where I'm like, yes, let's go. And the other
Yeah.
one is Sharktopus versus Terracuda, which is pterodactyl and barracuda.
All right.
So,
A pterodactyl.
yeah, they got some dinosaur DNA up
So
in this
not
bitch.
only are they combining species, they're also combining extinct species.
Right. This series
Yeah.
sounds horrendous.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
made you watch it?
Yeah.
So we finished watching Jurassic World.
Oh, and of course, it led you to this.
Like the new one?
A real
Yeah,
quality
no,
film.
we watched World, Forgotten Kingdom, or Forbidden Kingdom, whatever it's called,
And
then
Dominion.
Forgotten
And after
Kingdom.
Dominion ended, we had an hour before Love Island started, and we were like, "What better way to spend an hour?"
Oh my
and it showed up at the
God.
bottom of Amazon, and so we clicked it.
What was that
And we were like,
saying?
"Yeah, this is
saying that was
terrible."
on oh god, that really famous movie from it's where he said, "You know how I know you're gay? You watch Love Island."
Well, if you guys watch Love Island, you would understand.
Listen to Coldplay. Yeah.
Because Love Island is the other thing we've been watching recently.
Oh,
That shit's crazy.
Oh,
Is
Because
it?
it is good.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, because these people,
is
because
it
it's all a
good?
game. You got to think about it like
It is a game.
it's a game
a
because they're
game where
trying
it's
to
like
win.
who gets herpes first.
Yes, because one of the contestants this
Who
season
does?
literally had like herpes on
Spoiler.
his face,
Oh my god.
and everyone's
What's his
talking
name?
about it because Nick and
Nick
they
Cannon.
kept-
I knew it.
Yeah.
and they kept talking about it on like the subreddit and everything afterwards because he just and they would have these kissing challenges and they would all be making out with him. I'm like, this is fucking gross.
There's a
Fucking
kissing
gross.
challenge? How do
Oh.
you win?
So the way you supposedly win Love Island is that you're in a couple
Yep.
that everyone thinks is the most convincing couple.
Okay.
And so the way the show works in general, for those that don't know, is they have like
It's me.
5 guys and 5 girls, and they lock them in a villa in Fiji. And they start dating and they have to pick and they couple up. Well, then they slowly introduce, they call them bombshells, and these other hot people. They'll do a couple
Mhm.
girls and a couple guys, a couple girls, and then they have to recouple and make new relationships.
Mhm.
Yep.
And they have to find and be in like great match that survives the rest of the show. And it's
Okay.
4 weeks long. And this is 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week. This is shown.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that this show was shown in that format where it's like not like it's nightly or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's nightly.
on Netflix though, right?
No, it's
Or-
Max or Peacock. I think it's on
Okay,
Peacock. Yeah.
It's on the cock.
The
On the cock.
character.
But the question, so this is it on network TV?
Yeah. This is an NBC show.
What?
I'm pretty well.
Isn't it like really risque?
It is. Oh yeah, because the
They
chicks are
censor
all
it.
wearing just bikinis,
Maybe it's
and the dudes are all just wearing swim trunks like the whole time.
but that's like
but they're
Baywatch
like-
though.
they're-
Like
but they're making out too.
well,
Like there's
Hmm.
like the challenges. There's like this really disgusting challenge. This is the fucking most disgusting thing. You
Yeah.
guys are about to gag. And if you're watching, you don't know about this. You're probably about to
I'm
gag too.
so excited to learn about what makes Matt gag.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You are. You're about to open up and find out.
Open up and
It's the opposite, but yeah, we're ready.
It checks out. It checks out. Anyways, they have this
Mhm.
challenge where they have to pass food mouth to mouth
Ugh.
and fill up like this season was milk.
Oh,
So they had to they had these udders and they had to pour milk in their mouth and then they had to transfer it to another person's mouth and then spit it into a bucket. And then they had to pour
how
that
many
bucket.
times? This sounds like a
I
like
told you this
it,
was
it
disgusting.
sounds like a porn is what this sounds
Yeah,
like.
but they're wearing clothing at least. But they're like humping each
least.
other like
What?
They're humping each other just
Yeah, no,
randomly, or
While they're passing milk?
sometimes depending on the challenge.
when would you hump somebody?
You don't know. You
Blade.
don't know.
What is happening?
Right.
This sounds
This is-
ridiculous.
This is the most. And we had Jonas Campbell in here. This is like having your dad in here listening to this conversation.
I
Jonas is
would probably
appalled.
have this conversation with anybody.
It's like what happened like last week when Odin was on the show, and all I did was show our little clip of the ladies working out in 80s fitness uniforms, and he was like, "Why, Blaine? Why?"
Oh, I'm sure if
And
I
I
was
was
here,
like,
he'd be
"Why
like
not,
disgusted with me.
Odin?"
Yeah, he'd be disgusted with me. But it doesn't matter because it's so interesting because you see these people, and that's the thing. In the background, they're all trying to play the politics of the game,
Right.
which is what makes it interesting because they all want the 100K.
to
right?
see who will do the nastiest shit
$100,000.
first.
No,
Like it's just,
That's kind of
really
game
not
in the
worth it.
game. That's not really the point of it.
okay.
That's just the disgusting thing they do for whatever reason. But the whole
For
game
fun.
is to win the money, and you never
Mm.
know how it's going to go. Like, this season-
100,000.
Yes.
Dude, what is this economic time that we live in?
No.
Like, I fucking remember, like, who wants to be a
but
millionaire?
Really, but
Right.
really, the people that go on this show become big time social media influencers.
Who gives a shit about
They make
Right.
so much
Influencers.
money. They make so much money. Like we were looking at the influence count, and people are now tracking this shit. And they were like, okay, this person started the season with 8,000 followers or 80,000 followers, and now they have 100,000 or like almost 1 million followers.
Okay.
And they lose followers in episodes and gain followers. So there's a lot of money to be made in this kind
Wow.
of show if you're willing to literally like
Sell
sell
your
yourself
soul.
out.
Yeah.
Because that's
Sure.
what all these people do.
That
But
sounds
anyway, it's
disgusting.
interesting when you look at it in this perspective.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I find it very entertaining. But this is one of the few shows that I'm like entertained by.
I have heard from
Mhm.
McCampu fan.
Yes.
I don't know what that is, but they say that MILF Manor is better.
It's better.
I'm pretty sure Milk Manor is where they take moms and then they take their sons and they put them in the same place and they do a dating thing where it's
With
like
the-
10
so like
moms,
the
10
other
sons.
Sons are
They're
dating
dating
other
other
people's
moms.
moms.
Yep. I think we tried that and it was so uncomfortable that we stopped after like 5
God, that's disgusting. Where do I sign up? No, wait, hold on.
You would
My
have to
mom-
take your mom.
No, no,
Never mind.
Never take it back.
Never mind.
Take it
Yeah.
all back.
Hold on. I had it pulled up here. Yeah, MILF Manor. Here we go. Yeah, there's
Manor. I mean, it's a great name.
it really is. And
Yeah.
I mean, really if we're talking about this level of just insane debauchery and
Yes.
depravity, I mean, like this show and that one, I mean, then
All's
whatever.
fair.
Anything goes at this
In
point.
Love and War.
Yeah, I mean, the world has just gotten wild.
And we didn't have any reviews from Milk
Yeah,
Manor.
we don't.
MC Camp U fan, you need to go ahead and go review it. Leave your thoughts.
Right.
Let us know what you think.
I wonder, have people been reviewing Love Island? Because this Love Island is like one
I
of the
don't know.
most. Is this Love Island USA?
Yes.
Like what? Okay.
Yes. We have not watched the UK.
Yeah, we only have 3 voters, and your wife is one of them.
Yeah, did I
and
record?
there are literally. Hold on a minute. Let me pull
Yeah,
this
sure.
up. This is absurd. We have 300.
Caleb watches it too.
Caleb, one of
Oh,
our
I gotta message
one of our
him.
lead devs on this app,
got
who I am now questioning more than I already did before, gave this 100% along with
Holy shit.
along with Zena, who also gave it
It's
a.
because it is riveting because
Wait,
it's so
Love
insane.
Island.
You literally watch these people convince themselves they're in love with these people, which they're not. Like most of the time, these relationships
Which
fall
sounds
apart.
awful.
They're dating. They're faking relationships.
Yeah.
To win the 100,000, but they don't ever talk about the 100,000. It's not something they talk about. So you just have to remember this is going on.
Yeah.
But and they switch couples and stuff because there's recouplings, there's all these extra people that get added in, like people get voted out on a regular basis. It's super dramatic. Like it's hilarious. Like
Oh man,
It sounds so disgusting. Dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm a
watch it,
prude,
but
I
haven't.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I like
true.
love.
I just-
Woo love.
that's what they're searching
Marriage?
for. They're searching
No.
for
Okay, if there's
love.
recouplings, no. They're searching for 100,000 and more followers because all these fucking social media
Oh yeah.
cucks
Yeah.
just want nothing but followers.
And clicks and follows.
Oh, yeah.
None of them
Yeah,
are
yeah.
leaders, though.
But so guys, I think we've ran over
Yeah,
on all
we're
this
good.
stuff. We need to go ahead and get into
Yeah.
our review because no more talking about smut around here.
That's right.
No, we're going
Math,
to talk about real things.
like Team America.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We are going to be talking about Team America. So I think it's time to roll the thing, Matt. You want to
Oh, you want me to do it?
Roll that
you
back.
want to roll the thing?
Sure.
Or, I can roll.
You
the
can
thing.
roll now.
And actually, I teed this up to show right after we did that, which is this.
This is America, goddammit! We don't put up with no bull.
Which is a little clip from the new film that we were talking about earlier, Running Man, which I'm very excited about. And I really liked that clip from the trailer. And so I absolutely had to show that. But
I feel like he will make a great game show host.
yeah, I feel like it too. And he was great in Severance. So I'm pretty sure that's the same dude.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Oh.
So yeah, the black dude with the mustache. He's going to be the game show host
Like
for
the manager.
for-
For sure, yeah.
in
So-
training or whatever.
Yeah, guys, it's time. It's time to talk
America,
about Team America. So first of all, we got to just say a Durka Durka Muhammad Jihad. And yeah, so this is Team America, man. This movie came out in 2004. It's considered a comedy action adventure. It's a puppet movie, but that's not a category, I don't think, technically. But this film was created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the guys who did, or I guess
South
not
Park.
did, but do South Park, the show that has been on for a gajillion years. So it's kind of one of those things. You're either going to be on board for those boys or you're not.
Yeah.
They're either going to be your taste or they're not going to be. And this movie really just kind of blew everybody's minds back in 2004 because they just ripped on anything and everything like they do with South Park, but in a way that navigates the world and in such a very calculated manner that it's surprising. It's just like they do with South Park, where they're going to offend everyone while not picking a side, really, and you still not even totally knowing what perspective they're coming from, if any, which is kind of great. It's a brilliant format. They're very skilled at what they do, and but this is a movie that I have not seen since high school. I don't know about you guys, but it has been a very long time since I had seen this.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but not since high school. I think I've seen it in my 20s. I'm sure at some time I did see it.
Yeah, Zena and I were talking about that. I think we watched it 10-ish years ago. We have like a memory of watching it together at some point.
Right.
So
yeah. It's been ages now. This is one of those. It's funny. I've been in this. I almost feel. I felt like I haven't dropped my review for this yet, but I've reached a point where I'm feeling a little guilty because of all of the movies that I've been reviewing of late, because I keep reviewing movies that I own because I love them, and they just happen to keep popping up. It's like we did Independence Day, and we've been doing like Rocky,
Gangs of New York,
Gangs of New York, and there's like it's all these really popular, like famous films that I love. And so actually I was going to pull it up here. I was literally looking through my profile because I was like, I actually do legitimately feel kind of guilty about my reviews because I have too many most excellence starting to stack up. I don't know, Matt, do you run into this issue when you're using the app where you're like, I've given too many positive reviews
Sometimes
lately?
I do, and that's why I kind of force myself to watch things like Sharktopus.
Right.
Be like,
I need to drop a
maybe this
better.
will be okay, but like, yeah, there's plenty of times where because nobody wants to watch bad movies,
right?
And
well,
so
I mean, there are some people that do, but
but I try to like mix it up because you're right. Most of the time, it's gonna be a rad or most excellent for me. I like most movies. I'm not overly like critical of things,
right?
But
and that's, I mean, like we did Indiana Jones, we did so SLC Punk recently on this show. We did the Goonies, we did Eurotrip. So I'm just like, I'm stacking up a lot of most
like
excellent.
You need to watch more movies for you, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I do. I have not been watching much movies for myself, really, but yeah, I've got all of this stuff kind of pulled up here. This is the calendar. If you're not familiar on Criticless, you do have a calendar. Make sure to use it. If you want to keep up to what you've been watching, you can type in and search what it is, or search by genre, year, month, all that stuff to see the things that you've been reviewing lately. But I did just want to pull that up to show my guilt because we were doing another movie that I also like. And actually, I guess I will pull it back up really quickly. I saw it a minute ago, but our score for Team America World Police is currently at an 86% by 25 viewers. And I told everybody yeah, it's not bad. And actually, speaking of, we got Chelsea M here who gave an 80%. Said America, fuck yeah. Because obviously, you know, it's the number one thing said in this movie on a regular basis, and especially when it's America.
The real solemn montage.
That version is pretty fantastic. But we've got the Hooded Man here who gave it an 80% as well. Wine Fiend, Matt's wife, who gave it a 77%. We got Jaja who gave it a 96%, and shared, I'm sure, a fantastic clip that I'm going to have to check out later. And if you have not read Jaja's reviews, you need to, because they're all written like he's Jar Jar Binks, and it's all of them. And in all of his, he is one of the most active people in the app, and also
follow this person
like Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, he might actually be Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, might actually be.
I appreciate the dedication.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. We got Genius Anus in here, who also gave it. Gave it 100% as well.
Damn.
Who's a friend of the show as well. And we got Discat Matt, who gave it a 93%. We've got Grillamar, who gave it 100. And then we start getting into some of the older reviews from previously. But I mean, there is only one heinous in here. But oh my gosh, Fistful of Movies. What has happened here? Said he's tried to watch it several times and just doesn't like it. Says it's boring, which is really
this movie boring.
I guess. Racked up 6 like downvotes and
mannequins or something.
I guess I'm just gonna have to give you. Oh my god, I have the sensitivity at 100 on my mouse, and it's just jumping all over the place. My Matt mouse. But yeah, we got a lot of most excellence happening in here, and I will throw out some likes and stuff later. But we're gonna go back to the full screen. Oh, and we do have MC Campy. You said that his was in here as well. So let's see here. I might can do a repost. Yeah, we got yours in here too.
All right, look at that.
So yeah, and
No,
what is it?
This mouse sensitivity.
90.
What's
Gave it a
90?
90%
All right.
here in Criticless. So
I hear ya.
and John Ray Movie Man gave it a
Hey.
hundo.
Wow, he just dropped this in here too.
This hundreds percenters
Yeah,
coming
man.
out,
People
man.
Wow.
love this movie. I mean,
Yeah.
what can you say? And I'm excited to talk about it and my opinions on it now versus then and the things that have
Yeah.
changed since this thing came out.
Same.
So let's go ahead and dig into it. I think what we should discuss first is essentially just like where you guys sit with this now, your relationship with the movie and back in the day and all of that. And if your opinion has changed any since you first saw it. So I don't know whichever of you, we can let Matt go first because if anybody doesn't know that's watching, Matt doesn't understand comedy or humor. He
True.
doesn't really know
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's this thing. It's kind of like how Chris, he doesn't really know how to define horror or
True.
he thinks spooky and horror just
They're not the
Chris
same.
doesn't think horror exists.
yeah, he doesn't really think
It's a
horror.
very specific.
No,
thing.
we're not going.
It's a-
We will save this for another day. So.
Yeah.
But and then Matt, he's just he only really Matt. The only thing Matt finds funny is himself. Let's be straight.
Eurotrip
Well, he is
fucking
and
hilarious.
Eurotrip. But Matt is the funniest person ever. So I mean that explains it.
That's
you know,
so true.
Yeah.
that's
so true.
why.
Yeah.
It makes sense when you set the bar so high. It's like no one can live up to that.
Yeah, it's hard being number one.
It makes
It really
He's used
is.
to it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So
He's number one in a lot of things. so.
right, right. So Matt, where do you sit with this movie now?
Oh, awkward silence.
Yeah.
So this movie is not that good.
No.
And 100 is the wrongest score I've ever seen for this movie.
The longest. Could it be the most wrong?
Most wrong. Most is
Hmm.
wrongest.
Like I
This
said.
movie's like a decent, and I also debated doing a bogus for this movie.
Wow.
So
Blaine's having an orgasm right now. Out of agony. And agonism.
Agonistic orgasm,
Yeah.
as one might call it. So that's
Wow.
wild.
I agree. This movie
Explain.
is boring.
Elaborate. Oh, boring.
It was interesting for like 5 minutes, and then when the novelty of like the puppetry wears off,
Yeah, which is never, but
no,
yeah,
no,
continue.
within 5 minutes it wears off, and
Okay.
the comedy falls mostly to the wayside because the novelty wears off.
Okay.
So for the most part, I'm just like, this is kind of funny for a couple minutes, and then after that, I was just like, I'm kind of bored. I wish this was more of like a. Honestly, this would be better live action. I think this would almost be
Oof,
funnier live
hard
action,
pass.
except for one scene, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
as puppets.
I love that you saying that this would be better as live action. You literally just proved Campia right. He said that you are the modern audience.
I
which is-
guess. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, look,
But
we
I honestly
accept
don't like-
all opinions here.
So I was thinking about this.
I hope so.
Yes, I have been thinking about it like all day since we watched it yesterday. I don't like any South Park movies.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't think Trey Parker and
Matt
Matt
Stone.
Stone do good movies. They make
Interesting.
great
Hmm.
30-minute episodes,
Mhm.
but I feel like they lose the sauce when they try to make movies. There's only like one movie I like, and I think it was like a South Park movie. And that was
Yeah.
because that came out when I was in high school and I had a high schoolers like mentality. And I still like South Park, but I try to watch their longer stuff and I'm just like, this is okay. Like
Yeah.
I would call them all probably just like decent because they're not funny. And it's the same in this movie. They beat the jokes to death over and over again. We're getting the same jokes over and over again. And it's just like, okay, that was funny the first time. And now it's not funny anymore because they
Okay.
keep doing it. So for me, this movie slowly but surely degraded. Like I kept being like, oh, I want to check my phone for stuff. Like I'm gonna look out the window and think about other shit because this movie's just like boring.
Wow.
And I kept waiting for like, oh my gosh, Matt Damon. And that never happened because I always
it did.
attributed that to this movie.
Yeah.
But it's never happens. So I was extra disappointed because
I mean-
I always say that all the time. But apparently that was just a meme that lives rent free in my head.
No, I mean, there's the whole Matt Damon. Like that's all he says.
Which is funny. Which I don't understand necessarily why he did that in this movie.
It was just
But-
him making fun of it.
Them making fun of Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just didn't know if that was a reference to something.
No,
because I've seen a lot of Matt Damon stuff, and I
Yeah.
like to make fun of him too. I just didn't
Mhm.
understand that reference.
Right.
Yeah.
And as Chelsea said, I mean, she's kind of like, you don't find puppet spread eagle funny, man.
No, that's the one scene I did find funny. And what would have been hilarious was if this was like a live action and that scene was puppets.
right. Oh,
Because
right,
and if they had done a couple scenes where it was like that, because that was something that was kind of funny when it's the main puppet and he's just in like DC.
Gary.
And you see
Yeah,
Gary, sure, whatever his name is.
Main
John
You
puppet.
see
Sten.
Gary, and he's like looking at like statues and stuff. And you see like live action people walking around. That was
No,
funny.
there's actual people. They
I know,
just
I know.
put the
they
puppet.
just literally. I more laughed at the idea of them filming a puppet.
Yeah.
than just people walking
Well,
by.
that's a lot of what's funny about this movie. Like what they want for you.
calls to Bucko 5.
What
Yeah.
they want you to laugh about is how stupid the puppets
It's so
are.
ridiculous.
Like what is funny in this movie? Like a lot of it, honestly, is the like the humor underneath. It's the stuff they're not like wearing on their sleeve. What is funny is the fact that like it's so stupid. Like that they have puppets doing these things. It's like how sometimes they'll just like fuck up the puppets and leave it in. Like, the puppet will fall out of a thing or like fall over or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're gonna leave it in the movie because
Right.
it's funny. Like a lot of the humor comes from that, I think. But
look,
okay.
I'm not here to change your opinion,
Right.
man. I respect you.
Right.
I knew you guys were gonna like
Look,
this, and I knew
right.
I actually do remember thinking this movie was dumb.
Yeah.
Except for the
Oh, it's
America,
absolutely dumb.
fuck yeah.
100%
It is-
dumb.
I remember
So dumb.
that being like great, and that lives rent free like every
Right,
like
right.
4th of July. But and then like destroying everything is so on the nose, like
Oh yeah.
politically, which is great, and I enjoy
Yeah.
it because it is on the nose and like fag and all that. Like I'm like, this is
That's
great.
some of the
This is
best.
on the nose. I don't
That
find it
still
funny
caught me off
necessarily.
guard.
Chris, that is the one word that will catch Chris off guard is if you say fag.
Well, there's more than one, but that is in the echelon of catching me off guard. Yeah. But yes,
Yeah,
I
that
understand.
was a word that got thrown around a whole lot more back in 2004. You don't hear it as much now, and
Wow.
it's
Sadly.
yeah, it's
Unless you're talking about cigarettes.
right.
Do actually people call cigarettes fags nowadays? 'Cause
I
I
think
remember being
still,
a kid,
yeah.
and like I'm talking about
A cigarette,
stick of wood.
Yeah, right.
No, that's a bundle of sticks.
Bundle of
sticks.
sticks. That's
is
right.
called a fag.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But yes.
Yes,
It-
and
fags
obviously,
are-
if you're a member of the Film Actors Guild, you are also that. But really, yeah, it is like the joy of this movie is how stupid it is. It is that it is intentionally bad.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is, and it's just a matter of if you appreciate that or
Sure.
not. Which, and I will say that now, especially, there is still a lot of nuance in this movie, in certain ways, for sure.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of if you're interested in it, you're not looking out a window because you're so bored.
Well, I mean, it feels more interesting.
Exactly.
Oh goodness! All right, so Chris, where obviously we know you like it. Where are you sitting
Yeah,
with this?
I
Like,
do.
critical
I
scale
really
film.
enjoy it. I still enjoy it. I have not seen it for many years, many moons. It's been since I've seen it, but my idea of what this movie portrayed changed
Mhm.
completely in my rewatching of it. Like initially, whenever I first saw it as a young chap, I saw it as and doing it in all aspects, and which I approved of 100% at the time, and I still do because the critiques are still fair. But it is more than that I've found rewatching this. It does criticize, but it also still kind of gives it a good name and tries to. It is still pro-America
Mm-hmm.
as
Ish.
much as innovate. Like there's so much in it that is critiquing it, which I appreciate.
Right.
Like I want something to pick apart and critique something that I'm a part of without my will, right? Like
Right,
we're all
yeah.
born here.
Right.
We didn't have a choice of it.
Right.
So I want it.
That we have to say the allegiance
Exactly.
as kids. So we
Yeah.
were like told we had to be part of this.
Right. And I don't want to be a part of a cult or a part of something that is malicious, which we don't have a say in that. But anyways, but it does a good job of playing on both sides of line where it makes fun of America
Mm-hmm.
tremendously.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
we are the world police. Like even in the title, that
Right.
is the
Oh yeah.
joke.
Making
It's like,
fun of America.
and that's what we do. It's like
Right.
we go to places and in the name of democracy or
freedom or whatever.
communism, anti-communism or whatever it is, we have to have a say in things and we're gonna fix it to
Right.
what
Which,
we say it is.
one of the best things about this movie, honestly, is that everywhere they go to save people and do things, they're just fucking everything up.
They're
Like,
destroying.
destroying
Yeah.
everything
yeah.
everywhere they
Yeah.
go.
It's a part of the joke, and
Yeah.
and that is 100% accurate. And you have to be able to accept that. But also at the same time, there's a part of, I feel like the second half of the movie is more pro-America, where it kind of like, so it's like, yeah, well, you know, Michael Moore, I had to look him up, dude. Like,
Right.
I had forgot about
Michael
him
Moore
because he
fell
was
off.
so staunch. Like
Yeah.
after 9/11, like everybody was watching his documentaries and being
Right.
like fucking gung-ho anti-America and stuff. And like, yeah, we're not great. Like the American government, especially, is dog shit, trash,
Well, yeah.
fucking the worst, owned by corporations. You can fire me right here, right now. I don't care. But
I mean, that's true.
but the America as the idea works well and is pretty good.
Right.
I would say.
Right.
Like
And-
the idea of it.
And I think
Do
that's
we-
kind of a lot of this too is like it is too. They're like, look, we're gonna celebrate and like revel in. Hey, we're Americans. Like we still love being America, but like our government does whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Like they will go and wreck shit. They will go take over other countries. They will just stick their nose in everything. But then also like sometimes what they do is admirable. But then sometimes what they do is super fucked up.
We're still free, motherfuckers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're like, and sometimes it's both. Sometimes what they're doing is admirable and fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of that is in the nuance of this movie. It's buried in there in these little tidbits, and it works. But before we get too deep into that, I guess like so, Chris, you're still most
Like
excellent. You were rad.
100%. I would say no, not 100%.
right.
Sorry, I misspoke.
I was about to say.
I would say
Shocking.
I would give this like a 87.
Okay.
86.
Right.
Somewhere in that range.
All right.
Okay.
And Blaine?
Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and say like critical scale. I actually I don't think I love it as much as I used to.
Okay.
I didn't find it as funny as I used to, but I still do find it funny.
Sure.
Like I still do enjoy it. I'd probably give it like an 80. I remember cackling at this movie back when it came out.
Yeah, sure.
Like just constantly laughing. And so some of that could be like just knowing the jokes, knowing what's coming. Like I said, I own this movie. Like it's just now I haven't seen it in a long time, but back in the day I watched it a lot. Like I'd be like, oh, you need to see this. It's freaking hilarious. They're roasting shit out of everybody, but also like just all of, like I said, some of this nuance that's in there. One of the things that I actually enjoyed the most about this movie is that whole back half where they spend it just making fun of Hollywood celebrities.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's some of the best shit in this movie. Like, yeah, that stuff is some of the best stuff in this movie. And honestly,
it's funny because some of the stuff is not aged. I mean, it's aged well.
Right.
Like Alec Baldwin, for example.
Right, exactly. Well, in some of them, it makes me wonder. I kind of want to go back and see. I'm like even with Matt Damon, like I don't remember him actually being super politically like one of those types of folks. And I know he hasn't been of late, but like a lot of these did age really well, where like this took place before things went off the rails with the celebrities. And they all like, we knew what all of them thought about everything and whatever. Yeah. And it's so on the nose now, even more so than it was back then. And like back then we could think it was funny. Now we're like, holy shit, this is spot on.
Yeah. Well, and nowadays you get canceled.
Right. And as Chelsea has said, and definitely do agree there too, where she said, you know, our country isn't perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than a lot of other places.
Amen.
Absolutely agree. We are right there with you. And you know, it's there's just some of these moments are just dumb funny, like we were talking about, where it's like, and some of them are made to make you feel uncomfortable, whether it's the political aspect or whether it is they're like dude that's in charge being like, you're gonna have to suck my dick. Like that scene, super uncomfortable, but then continues to pay off in spades later when he keeps just telling everyone that he sucked his dick. And he's just telling them, and he's like, no, believe me, he's very committed. Because he sucked my dick. Like,
it's like very Weinstein.
Yes.
Right.
And so like some of that just is some people are going to find it funny. Some people aren't. Like it's very much like we said, that South Park style humor where it's gonna, it just depends on the person. But I feel like I feel like Matt, do you find like, for example, the cats or like the fish or like some of that where they do it to scale, like when they like get eaten by the fish or like,
I think it's a smart use.
Right. Like I feel like that's some of the stuff you might find funny.
Yeah. I did kind of find that, especially the cat one.
Yeah.
Funny because it's so ridiculous.
Right. So
but that's the smart play. And that's where I was like, if they had more like human, like live action shit in there, it would have been probably even funnier because they really were then crossing around all these different like, barriers. But.
Right. And actually, Twisted Reality said in the chat that apparently the Matt Damon thing, they did explain it, is that basically the puppet looked so terrible and they couldn't have it changed in time for the movie. And so they basically just made him retarded, which is also great. And very much
that's
them
you know.
So that
is what it is.
Yeah, that is super, super funny. And these guys are just, they are very clever. But like I said, some of the jokes and stuff didn't hit as hard for me now as they did back then. But I still think that this movie is just as relevant as it was back then. And I mean, we are, you know, it's one of those things where it's going to be interesting, even currently where we're sitting politically. We were talking about this on Bro Science actually yesterday, where, for example, like Gangs of New York, some of these movies are even more relevant or relevant in different ways currently than they were back when they came out. And it's like with this one where we're staring down the barrel of, we had 4 years of Trump being completely war-free, and now we've got us possibly getting back into wars again. And so it's like, you know, are we going to see more of people getting mad about us getting back into the war machine stuff? Is that going to happen for real? Like, are we going to get back into boots on the ground? Like, and so a lot of people do on both sides of the political aisle do resonate with this world police thing of tired of America being the world police.
Putting our dick in places it doesn't belong.
Exactly. Exactly.
Dicks have to fuck assholes.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to get shit all over your pussy. And it's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. So that's the question is are we is the dick of America working properly or not? You know,
right.
Are we
we have ED.
Right. Are we flaccid or are we still rock hard? Is the question.
I mean, we dropped them bombs.
So things are happening. But yeah, I think that I'd be curious to see where the younger generation sits with this movie now. And where, because we also have had this crazy political shift where it used to be that the left was so anti-war. Yeah. And we've seen over the past, like, however many years that, like, they've kind of flipped the switch and they've been a lot more pro-war, but for, in a weird way, the same reasons that used to would have made them anti-war. So it's this interesting thing about, like, depending on the side of the political aisle that you are, where you're going to sit with this movie, you know, your age, where you're going to sit with it. If you remember this time period and during Iran and Iraq and all of that stuff happening, like, if you remember all of that, some of this will probably resonate a little more, because there is the interesting component of, we have North Korea involved in this storyline where we've got Kim Jong-il, I think. Un is the younger.
Yeah, Il was the dad.
Yeah.
Un is who we have now. And
or is it a brother?
Rumor is that his daughter might be about to take over, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens over there. And really, I mean, even just one of the things that we've not talked about with this movie that I think is just really funny is the amount of songs that they decided to incorporate with it. Like, I'm so Ronry.
I mean, that is the funny element that can be entertaining, I guess is the way to put it, because most of them aren't that funny, especially because it's the same thing, just in different, like, versions.
Oh, Matt. But not that funny. You are alone in this, Matt.
I know. There's one other person that said it was a heinous, so I'm not totally
There's one other human that hates this movie.
I'm not alone. That's all I'm
You're not so right.
Yeah, I know. I told Zena my thoughts on this movie, and she was quite shocked.
I'm sure she was appalled, because y'all are usually very similar in your opinions, and she gave this a 77%. So it's like,
when I told her I was at least like a low decent, or maybe even a bogus.
And Zena, just so you know, he even admitted that he might give this a bogus. So feel free to shame him all you want.
Oh, she already knows. I told her literally, I think it was like an hour before you got here.
I wouldn't even claim him anymore. Just get rid of him. You know,
as we all know, I don't do comedy. They have to be very specific, and this one was not there. And I have my reasons, and I state them nicely.
All I gotta say is, you know, they did a great job with that girl puppet's boobs. You know, those were that was a great rack on that puppet.
Like,
you know,
cones. They were like, "What do we need to do? We need to like put some cones on there."
And I love how he didn't have a dick. Like,
oh yeah, because they showed it multiple times. But that was funny.
Right, it was.
That was funny for sure.
Yeah, like stuff like that is because you're just like wondering because you're like this movie could go either way. They could make him hung like a mule, or he could have no wiener and be like a Ken doll, and that's the route they went, which is still funny.
Well,
like,
because if they'd done hung, it wouldn't have been as funny.
Right.
It really wouldn't have. So
it depends. It depends. They could have made a puppet with a big wiener look really funny.
But then they would have had to give her a vagina.
I
Because
think
then-
also
because
funny.
they would
I
have
think
to
she
show-
did have a vagina. Actually.
She might have actually.
I'm pretty sure I saw a vagina.
I don't remember. I thought she was very like
I paused.
Barbie doll.
It was pretty bad.
Listen, don't question Chris. He will know.
I looked it up.
And just there's so many tiny little details. Like, did y'all notice the bricks on the ground when they were in France? Like the
No.
cobblestones,
Yes, Zena commented on it.
they are croissants. Like,
Oh, really?
the cobblestone streets are croissants.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh. We didn't know what it was. We were just like, look at that. That's interesting.
No, they're literally stamped croissants
Wow.
all over the ground in France. Like, that was what all the streets were made of, was
I
croissants.
did not notice
Like,
that.
yeah, they did a lot of fun, just really goofy little things that they hid in this movie.
Mhm.
And I just kind of, even though this was intentionally shitty puppetry, I always really appreciate puppet stuff.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah, it
Like,
kind of goes back to that whole like they're putting in the effort.
Right.
Like it's not.
But only sort of,
stitching.
because like they're not going to reshoot anything. It was like a one and doneer.
You don't know, man. Like there's like that opening scene of them in France or whatever. Like, are we in spoilers?
yeah. We're not
Okay.
even doing spoilers this movie. With movies this old, I don't even bother. I mean,
Okay.
we're just spoiler straight up throughout. So which we have spoiler free on the screen. Get over it.
Yeah, we
you know.
literally did a spoiler free stinger and everything.
You know how many shits I give Matt? Zero
many.
whole shit.
So many.
Zero whole
3 a
shit.
day.
Gary, suck my. There are so many quotes in this movie that I didn't realize that
Came
are
from this
always living in my mind constantly.
Oh,
If
yeah?
there's anybody named Gary,
Right.
God save their soul, because I'm going to talk about them sucking my cock because it's just,
Just rattles around
ingrained
in
in
there.
my
Yeah.
brain. Yeah.
Right. And even just like the meme ability of this, where it's like the puking scene, that is everywhere on the internet all the time, and it's
yeah.
still great. Like,
Yep.
it's a constant gift that
Yeah.
people use. It's perfect. There is just a lot of memeable, gifable moments that are even almost funnier outside of the film than
Right.
they even are inside the
Oh,
film.
for sure.
Like the Matt Damon thing, like it's funny the first time or so,
Mm.
or like the puking scene, like that just goes on and on and on.
Mhm.
And really, some of the stuff that I enjoyed the most was the deaths of these puppets at
Oh.
the end,
Yeah,
especially
because they
for
do a
all
good
of
job
Fack.
of being like actual like splatter,
Right.
which was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
I felt like we were waiting for something there. Was there a cutscene?
No cutscene.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, you'll get like there were several moments where like entire halves of people's heads were popping off
yeah.
and splattering, and like, or
Yeah.
and I don't remember who it was, like fell off the side. Multiple people fell off of things. Like Kim Jong got impaled by that hat.
Yep. Yep.
I just feel like at that point I was just like, okay, about it, and it didn't draw me in. I was like, oh, that's fun,
Man.
but that was like it. Like it's literally I don't have any like. To the point I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like this go around, I did not laugh as much as I had the first time. I didn't find it as like
Yeah.
outwardly humorous.
Yeah.
But I
kind of agree.
still respected the movie, and like I like what they were doing with it and the message they were saying.
Mhm.
And it was still enjoyable. Like I still liked it, and I still, laughed to myself internally.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of
So
external.
you actually just sat there
chuckles.
like this,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you nailed it.
nodding every once in a while,
Yeah.
dying
Right.
internally
Yeah.
because how funny it was.
Uh,
Because it's so funny.
yes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, and I think that this I would imagine that this is one of those that tends to be funnier on the first watch.
Yeah.
And and then it just kind of cements itself in your memory, kind of like Chris
Mhm.
was talking about, where you remember that, like, for example, the Matt Damon thing in my head, it was, and I think Matt kind of mentioned this, it was in my head, it was a much bigger deal in the movie than it actually was.
Well, I don't remember. Yeah, because I remember him being like, I thought Gary like dressed up like Matt Damon to sneak in, and they
No,
were
he's
like,
a Jedi.
and then he like shows up, and it's like King Jong Il was like, oh no, it's Matt Damon.
Mm.
That's what I remember, and I don't know why.
It might be a Mandela, Matt. Who knows? Any memory like that I have, I'm just like probably Mandela. That's what.
And
happened.
I literally think about that all the time. I literally quote, "Oh no, it's Matt Damon," like all the time. I don't know why. And I like applied to other things, like, "Oh no, it's the Pizza Man." I don't know. It just happens.
You do that really well.
Thank you. I literally do it all the time. I don't know.
Yeah. I felt the same way about it was a song in this movie where it's about like, I hate you, Alec Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
You ruined my plans.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't happen until literally the end of the end credits. Like I was like, I know this song. Like I know this like term of like, I hate you, Alec Baldwin. You ruined my plans. But it doesn't happen literally until the end of the credits. It's like the last song in the credits. And it's like not something that's in the actual show. So I don't know. There's just like a very memory based.
I thought there was an end credit thing. And actually, I was kind of mad. So I watched this on Paramount Plus. That's where it's free right now. And they end the movie, like the credits start rolling. And they're like, you're going to watch the next thing so that you don't leave our app. And I'm just like, I know there's an end credits thing here, you dicks.
Right.
Like, why did you do that to me? And so that was also aggravating.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, I kind of get aggravated with all these apps where they're like so in a rush to make you stay and like send you, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. So,
which some of the apps are smart. They won't do that until after a post-credit scene if there is one.
Yeah.
Give me the choice.
Yeah.
Just give me a choice. That's all I care.
Several movies where, so like the Lego Batman movie, for example.
Right.
The post-credit scene is a musical montage.
Right.
And it's funny. And so I watched it with my son and I'm like, hey, like, look at this. And we both watch it because it's funny.
Right.
But for whatever reason, that's exactly what happens. Max is like, nope, you're done. Move on.
Right. Go watch the next
watch
thing.
this for 2-3 more minutes.
Right. Yeah, I didn't get to see the song at the end. There were multiple songs that I had forgotten about, like the Bucko 5 song. I had forgotten about that.
It's so good. Like all of the songs in this,
they're great.
They killed it.
The Pearl Harbor song, I had totally forgotten.
I forgot they ragged on Pearl Harbor, and I was just like, this is dumb.
So much. It's great.
It's so ridiculous and out of place, and also great. And he's just like, like all of the things that he hates, and he's like talking about like Ben Affleck's acting and like needing to go to acting school.
At the very end, he was like, but it's still not as bad as Pearl Harbor. Like everything up to that, it was like, it's as bad. Could be as bad.
And then he's like, no.
It's not as bad.
Right.
Pearl Harbor.
Literally, Pearl Harbor is the worst thing
It was the worst.
Which is funny too, because I actually don't think people even hate that movie that much. Like,
no, it's just Trey or whoever those people are. Like,
they just love to talk shit.
Yep.
They just love to rag on people.
That is their bread and butter.
Right.
Always finding anything they can rag on.
Right.
When it comes to celebrities.
Have you guys seen the clip? One of them are talking about a while back. I guess they went to some award show on mushrooms, like totally zooted out of their minds. And it's wild. There's like footage. And so they've talked about it after the fact, and like no one knew at the time. And there are interviews of them like on the red carpet on mushrooms, and they're just like, they're just straight retarded on mushrooms and just wilding out. And
I could not imagine being surrounded by people while on shrooms.
That actually is the only context in which I've ever taken shrooms, and it is
in a huge crowd.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes. It was a weird experience. I actually was at a Dirty Heads concert, and it was one of these experiences where it was we were actually with the distributor of said shrooms, and so I took way more than I should have. I've never analyzed a band so hard in my life. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, it was.
The Dirty Heads.
Yeah, and Dirty Heads as well.
They rated.
How was your?
What was your shroom experience of Dirty Heads?
I thought they were horrendous on mushrooms.
God, really?
I really deeply disliked the Dirty Heads on mushrooms. You would think that'd be the band you want to see on mushrooms. I was like, I literally the whole show I actually made some. I'm sure I aggravated them because I just kept leaning over and being like, these guys fucking suck. This might
my
be the
God.
worst band
That
I've
is
ever seen.
the Blaine experience. Holy shit.
Are you kidding? That probably would
Alright.
be me too. I don't
Right.
know if I could enjoy things if I was
Right.
analyzing them on like a
Like
A
a
stroke
stroke level.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like hyper focused, like listening to every note. And I was like, these guys are so bad. I was really excited.
Was that
about
an F flat?
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. That's not an F flat. I'll show you an F flat.
Right, exactly. That was pretty much how it went down. It was wild. Wild experience. Way too many. Took way too
Twisted Reality said they were on acid,
Yeah.
not on shrooms.
Right. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah, it actually that might
They were
be
just
right.
drugged up.
They were zooted one way or the
Yeah.
other.
Too many tabs.
Yeah, too many somethings. So yeah, I can't imagine doing that. Bold move and exactly something that the two of them would do. So
Mhm.
but is there anything that we haven't talked about with this movie, or I guess anything in chat that y'all might want to hear us talk about? I mean, we've covered it pretty well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Matt once again has a terrible opinion about a comedy movie.
Hey, that's where
True.
it's not my strong suits. I can't help it.
Right.
They're not funny. They're not funny.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's all right, Matt. We will.
Okay, there are a shit ton of just like quittable things
Yes.
that always pop into my mind.
Yeah.
That I didn't really realize. I did to a certain extent, but
Mhm.
didn't realize that came from this movie. But
Okay,
just
okay.
like surprise cock bags
Yeah.
always
So good.
pops in my mind. Gary, suck my cock
Oh yeah.
again anytime
Any
any Gary. I'm gonna tell them to suck my cock.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'll put a jihad on you.
Yeah.
Threatening people with jihad.
Yeah.
Also a
I
classic.
just want to see you do
Great.
that to people.
I will. I will.
I'll put a
I
jihad
probably
on
won't.
you.
Yeah.
Imagine you singing that as the was it Sanson sisters and what's that kid Hocus Pocus,
Mm.
because they sing I'll put a spell on you.
Oh yeah.
I'll put
I'll put a jihad on you.
Yeah.
Could be. I
go.
might do that. I
There
won't
you go.
because I'm too much of a pussy. But yeah.
And then
And
Dick's
being-
assholes and pushies, obviously,
yeah.
like
That whole
super
scene-
legendary.
So good. It still makes me laugh constantly. You didn't find that funny.
I
feel like
found it annoying.
really.
And the first time I was like, okay, whatever. And then they had to go through it all again. And
No,
then
it's
again,
better
and I
the
was just
second
like,
time because the second time's actually legitimately good.
Yeah, the second time he's like abridged, right? So like he
Right.
doesn't say the whole thing.
Well, and it's a different
Right.
version. He says a different version.
And I
It's
guess,
spiced up.
it was fine. I was just like,
Mm.
man,
Yeah, it's
is what it is.
and honestly, even the concept of it's pretty great. This idea of like taking a Broadway actor and
Yeah.
bringing them over
Into a spy.
making
Yeah.
him a spy, pretty great. And then they do the surgery on him, and he's just got like a glued on beard after all
just
that
pubes on
surgery.
face. It
Yeah,
makes me think of Always Sunny
right.
when they glue pubes on their face
Yeah.
or something. But isn't this literally the premise for some new Amazon show where they take 3 actors and they like put them in a war zone or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh, and it has
I mean, if it
has
is, I'm gonna
Legolas.
watch it. That
Legolas.
sounds
Oh, really?
Legolas?
Oh, it's a new movie or something.
Yeah,
Yes, I know what you're
movie or
talking about.
show
I
or
didn't know that
something.
that was the premise.
That's the
but-
premise. Is the 3
Okay.
leads are actors.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando
Yeah.
Bloom is one of the 3, and they
Really?
are
Yeah.
put into like a war zone of some sort, and it's on Prime. I forgot the name.
Okay.
It's literally the premise of that.
It just came out.
I will check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember actually just recently I saw some Criticless reviews come across for it. It's called Deep Cover is what it is. And yeah, it's this movie here. I've got it pulled up here. Yeah, Deep
American
Cover,
Burger.
and it's got the guy from Ted Lasso, and then
The
Bryce
main guy?
Dallas Howard, Her Royal Thickness.
Never mind. I lost interest.
Yeah.
What? After freaking Argyle, I don't want to see her in anything
Oh
again. That's
my
Wait, you didn't like
gosh.
Argyle?
Oh.
No, Argyle's dog shit.
It was great because it was terrible.
No.
Yes.
No, this was legitimately an AI
I
read
need to
terrible
actually
movie
watch
Yeah.
this.
that was
movie.
misled in the trailers to think that Henry Cavill had anything to do with the movie.
I mean, that is true.
Like, this
It's
was a
Sam
terrible-
Rockwell.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They signed up for a shit movie
Listen,
and they made it.
if you should just go read my Criticless review of Argyle to
watch
see
it.
why it's great. I gave it a 64%, and
Wait. I'm sorry, you said great?
yeah, it's great because it's so terrible. Like
Oh.
it is. I think you might actually like it because
I probably
it is.
will.
Because it.
And
So,
the director is the one who did Kingsman and all that.
Yeah.
And like you think it would be okay, but it's not. It's terrible. Like
you know,
terrible.
speak for yourself.
Well, I'll have to watch it.
It does have a decent on Criticless.
But you also gave it a 60 something, so
Yeah, I
that's
did.
not really
Because
great.
no, it's not great.
Okay.
No. It's one of those things that it's hard to explain. You just have to see it, and you're either going to appreciate and lean into how bad the movie is, or you're gonna like not
Lash out with anger at things because it's terrible.
Also, there's comedy in it. Matt,
Well,
It's not good comedy.
well,
yeah.
all right. We'll be
Chris, you watch. This is your homework.
I'll
This is your homework. You got to talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Next time you're
all
on.
right. Okay.
Next time you're on, you have to talk
Challenge
about it. You have to
accepted.
watch.
But I'll say,
Argyle,
I will.
and it's Blaine's fault.
now granted, in
I will.
Argyle, Bryce is not in her typical peak form. She's leaned into her royal thickness a little too much in that movie. But I
Is
mean,
that a thing?
oh, dude, Bryce
Yes.
Dallas,
Can
have
she
you
be?
seen the Jurassic
No, I'm
World
saying,
movies?
can it be too
Oh.
much? Is what I'm saying. You said too
So
much.
if you read my, I say that if you read my Criticless
There's
review,
mean ways to put this.
Yeah.
But yes.
she's thick
I know.
in that movie.
I'm aware.
No.
No. Not like she's got a big butt. It's that she's
thick all over.
real thick.
All right. All right. I mean, look, I like eating Twinkies.
See, and
too.
Twisted Reality's there. He said he liked it because it's so retarded. Like, and it is. That's what makes
Wait,
it.
this movie?
No. The one
Argyle.
we're talking about, Argyle.
Argyle.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's dumb. It's super dumb, but like fun for that reason, and it makes sense why Matt wouldn't like it.
I do like.
And Rockwell is worth seeing it alone.
Exactly.
You know, so there's that.
That's what I like.
A lot of people got super hyped for it because they thought that Henry Cavill was the star, and then he wasn't. That plays a lot into it, like Matt mentioned, because that's kind of how they advertised it.
I gave it a
for-
15. Just to anybody curious.
15?
Yes, this movie's dog shit.
Really?
It's
Yes,
not
it was
that
my
bad.
least
I'll
favorite
fight
movie of
you
last
over it.
year, except
Yeah.
for maybe The Crow. It was as
Which
bad
we
as The
watched
Crow.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, and you hated The Crow.
Well, as
I
we
did.
know, no one in chat trusts you anymore because of your Team America opinions.
I don't need to have any.
Hell
Not
yeah.
everybody should be throwing opinions on things.
You are
And I stand by that,
untrustworthy.
especially with this movie.
Yeah,
Okay, I do not jump
uh-huh.
on bandwagons. Thank
Yep,
you very
yep,
much.
yep.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I think that's it as far as Team America goes. Somehow we went down to Bryce Dallas Howard show. If
No, it's the same
Rockwell.
I mean, if y'all want to sit and talk about her ass and look at photos for the next
No,
like 45
Sam
minutes,
Rockwell,
yes, or
biggest dick.
he might.
Could be.
He has Sam Rockwell does have
He's got
BDE at the very least.
100%.
That
His
man,
energy is.
he's got game.
Yeah.
You know,
You know that guy at the beginning, throwback to the beginning of this stream. He's aura farming.
He is
just-
aura farming.
He's
just by existing.
Just existing.
He's just doing
Sam
doing
Rockwell is the aura farmer
of life.
Mon Capitan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could get behind that.
Mm.
Yeah. You
All
know, yeah. It's-
Where do
well,
we
then
go
I need,
from
I,
there?
I need,
do you
I
go
need, I
from
need
here?
you to watch Argon now. Like that is
I
your
will.
homework. I will
Yeah.
text and remind you daily until you do it.
Please
I
do.
need you
Daily.
to opine
Because
on
it
this.
seems like
Yeah.
an interesting movie. I think I will enjoy it. Honestly.
You
Like,
might. Yeah, I
I,
don't
mean,
just
I hope you do. I don't want everyone to tell anybody to watch a bad movie. Like, don't watch The Crow. That's a terrible movie. Most of us agree that was
Wait,
a terrible
which one?
movie. The newest Crow.
oh God.
Yeah. Skarsgård.
It's
That's
so
a bad
bad.
movie. That's a bad movie.
Exactly.
Oh,
I would
big
not
facts.
recommend anybody watch
Skarsgård
it.
was in that.
We watched it. We reviewed it on the channel.
I'm still surprised. Like, would he associate himself with such a bad movie?
Yeah, I don't think he knew what he signed
So
up
bad.
for.
God.
So I think, guys, this is the part where we do send off songs. We all send you off with a song, some music that you can listen to through the week. I've been listening to a lot of music, and I actually even held off what I was going to recommend last week so that I could do it this week when the fellas were here. So I did do that, but and we do have a list on our YouTube channel of our send-off songs. We will add these songs to it. And if you do end up super chatting a song, it will get added to the list, which we have done many a time. And if you are the one and only Caveat Ties, you will add a song that no one can say the name of.
Yes.
But yes. So what songs you guys got? Or do you want me to go? What y'all
I'll
think?
go first.
Okay.
So mine is called Calcify by Differences.
Okay.
And it's metalcore.
Metalcore.
Hard and fast and heavy.
Hard and fast and heavy, just
Yep.
Yeah,
like
buddy.
my wiener. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I do. I know exactly.
It's probably. I feel like if you have a heavy wiener, it's probably hard to be.
No, it's
You
not
should
hard.
probably get that
It's
checked.
Yeah,
definitely
like
not
a
bad.
a
limper,
heavy
like if
wiener.
you have a heavy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
That's all.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
It's got to be
Probably get that
patient.
checked out.
you probably should. It might be elephantitis.
Oh, yeah.
Could be. Could be the
Get
elephant man.
So you have a hard, fast, and heavy song.
Song.
Yes.
Don't have to get that checked out.
No.
By your ears.
You're right. That's right. Get your ears checked
Right.
out. So, Christopher, what do you have for a song for us to send us off?
I have a song by Jackie Vinson called Flying. But she is just fucking.
I thought you were going to say dead. You looked like you were going to say she is dead.
I killed her right now. She's dead.
She's in my basement. Yeah.
She's dead. No, she's great. She's fucking like phenomenal. I think autistic. She's got ism to a certain degree.
Hey, Rizm.
But
Rizm with the tism.
But with music, you want it, right? Like it accentuates
It could.
all of the great things about it. She has the guitar skills of a mayor.
A mayor?
You mean John Mayer?
Like,
Yeah,
or like
John Mayer.
a
Thank
mayor
you.
of a.
The way you said it was
local
like
area.
mayor. Like
No,
there was
she's
other
That's
mayors.
the way to describe someone.
I said,
She's just like a mayor. She runs a
of
city.
mayor. She is John Mayer-esque
Okay.
in her guitar skills, which is to say, fantabulous.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Super great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Love it. Yeah, super jazzy, funky. Like it's just a good time
Cool.
hanging out,
Nice.
jamming. And she's. You have a question?
I was just gonna say, is this like a chill song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's pretty chill.
Bluesy music can kind of go. Never
Right.
know exactly. what
Yeah,
it
no.
is.
It's not like aggressive
Okay.
blues.
But it's not
It's-
like John Mayer where he's like, fathers be good to your daughter.
It's pretty.
Oh, it's kinda
It's
like that.
kind of close to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's that exactly, but it was a good
Sounds good. You
interpretation
like that?
of it. Yeah, I do.
That's good.
No, but she's great. She's
Cool.
she. I feel like she is on the spectrum. That has nothing to do with this at all. But she's a great artist.
Yeah.
And a fantastic strummer.
Strummer.
Yeah.
That's what we call guitarists now, strummers.
She strums real
Some
well.
call them diddlers.
And music
they're-
is good. I feel like I'm doing a disservice to the people that
You're
I'm
just-
advocating here right
What was
now.
her name again?
Veronica something.
Oh, Jackie Vinson.
See, you didn't even
Basically
know.
what I heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
All right. So
Jackie Vinson.
I'm trying to decide what
Dear me.
Jackie Vincent. All right.
Jackie-
We'll check it.
Jackie
Everyone check it out.
Please do.
It's basically John Mayer, but an autistic woman.
Yeah. In a good way.
In the best kind of way.
Yeah. Continue.
And so I've gone down a rabbit hole. I've actually been listening to a weird amount of metal lately or metal adjacent music. I don't know what's happened. It's just been this rabbit hole that I've gone
It just
down.
happens to be good music.
Right.
That's
I
what you
mean,
need.
I used to be really into metal and then pivoted away from it, just got to where I just didn't like listening to it. And now I'm kind of working my way back into this middle ground of like not fully metal. This all started, I don't know if it's partially because of probably all of the Rippaverse stuff that's happened and their new song and what Rippa and Dan Vask are doing. But
Yeah,
which
Nor Africa.
yeah, Norfolka,
Norfolk.
their new song. But
Egypt.
yeah, it's
That's
a long
North
story,
Africa.
but I'm sure plenty of people listening know what I'm talking about. But anyways, somehow we ended up listening to baby metal. I introduced my kids to baby metal. I had not listened to a ton of them, but I'm not going to recommend a baby metal song because it sent me
damn.
to another band that is called Electric Callboy.
Oh yeah.
Now, Electric Callboy did a song with baby metal, which is how Matt found out about them as well. Yes, they have a song called Rat-a-tat-ta. Check it out. It's great. But that's not the song I'm going to do.
Mhm.
I'm going to recommend Elevator Operator,
Nice.
which is also, so these guys are really weird. They're like, there's a level of parody to their music, but it also absolutely slaps.
Yeah, because it's a weird like dub, like not dubstep, but it's like house music meets metal.
Yes, it's house metal. It's
Yeah.
like a whole new genre
Okay.
of house music and
Yeah, yeah.
metal, and their singing's actually good. But then, like when they drop the beat, like a metal band would, they also do it with like that house band or like music vibe, so it extra slaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time they drop it.
Yeah.
So this song's great. I joke because if you have a kid, then you know that kids love to get in elevators. What kids also love is pushing the buttons in elevators. So the joke now is that this is my son's theme song, and it plays in his head every time he gets in an elevator because it's always going elevator operator, and so that's one of the lines in the song.
Okay.
But the song is actually really good. This band is actually quite good and makes really good music, even though some of their songs are parody adjacent. So if you like metal music and also house music, they're a good combo for that. So that is Electric Callboy, and this song's Elevator Operator. But I'd say check out their song with Baby Metal as well, and some of their others.
Yeah, because I think I suggested Ratatata
Right
a while back.
Oh, did you?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
if I
it's
scroll
been a
back,
long
it's
time.
on the playlist. Yeah.
Sweet. So Electric Callboy's cool. But so check them out as well. And Twisted Reality brought it up. The song is Glorious Death, which is the song by Ripa and Canvask. So which is also a good song. They did a good way of combining like more modern metal and then like classic metal.
Well,
with
that's
Dan's
the thing, because it's interesting because it's like 80s like hair metal to a degree.
Yeah, which is Dan's vibe.
Right.
Mixed with the stuff that Ripa likes, which is more modern metal.
Right.
So,
it's good.
Yeah, it's a good song. So definitely check that out. And I did a show. They came on Bro Science, and we did an episode with them and kind of talked to them about the creation of the song and all that stuff. So
who did?
We did on Bro Science.
You did?
Yeah.
You talked to them?
Yeah.
The person?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. They're cool guys.
Cool.
You know, I'm pretty, I'm pretty connected nowadays. I know some pretty cool people, you know.
Flex it up, bro.
So, a little bit of flexing.
Farm that aura.
Right. I've been just aura farming. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing that on the boat real soon here. Just doing my thing.
Hey, you got a boat. You just got to like stand up there
Yeah.
and do that. Film it. We'll post it.
Yeah. So anyways, I think that's it for today's episode, guys. It's been fun talking about this movie. And what are you thinking about next week? What are we?
Superman.
Yes. Yes. Superman. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that next week. I do not know if it will be just Matt and I. It sounds like Chris is going to be super busy with work.
Yeah.
So
I gotta fucking tax the innocents.
Yeah.
So
like a Fed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he'll be
I'll
taxing
be
people
busy.
and taking money and all that. And so we'll be seeing Superman one way or the other. And
I think it'll be a later stream too.
Yeah,
I think
right.
We're seeing it at 5 our time, so
yeah.
it probably won't be.
But I am very cautiously optimistic while also being very excited about this Superman movie. So I'm curious to see everyone's thoughts as the reviews start to come into Criticless. It sounds like they have showed it to some of the press and stuff, and they've already seen it, but they're under NDA literally up until release or something wild. So
that's always concerning.
It
When
is-
they won't allow
it's gonna be
anybody to
trash.
say anything until the day of.
So I have seen multiple people talk about it that have seen it.
Sure.
And they're like, I'm not able to talk about it, but I am able to say whether I like it or not.
Uh-huh.
And everyone that I've seen so far didn't say that they just liked it. They said that they absolutely loved it.
No, sure.
But they did not give any details.
Mm.
But,
Well,
but these are
who can
critics.
you trust and
So, you never
whatever.
know.
So,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But we're going to be reviewing Superman next week. So if you want to know if you should see it in the theater or not, then come here. We will do spoiler free and you can hear our thoughts on it and we'll kind of go from there. So guys, I think that's been it for today. Thank you for joining us. It's been a lot of fun as always. And we will be back with some soups next week. Everybody take it easy. Later, guys.
Later, everybody.
Peace.